Well, you guys can hear me now. This is good. Full screen me. Let's see if you guys can see it. Yep. Okay. Alright, don't mind the baldness. Hopefully the sounds fine. The levels look good. Everything's good. So we're just gonna give a few more minutes for people to have chat open. This is the first stream of like a million. Although I don't know how many days that would be. Probably too many. I'd be too old by then, although I feel old now. Okay. So today, we're going to be playing Riftbound, the League of Legends card game. If you've never heard of Riftbound, it's basically coming out 10/31/2025, so in a few days. 6 days, to be specific. It's pretty good. You sort of fight over two battlefields. You'll see a little bit of it. There will be some gameplay, some pickup games that I can find on the Discord. Gonna be playing with my friend Flaowr later. He's also a streamer. It's gonna be a pretty good time. My goal with this is to be the best Riftbound player in the world. And I figure committing 3 hours to it every single day should get me somewhere close to there. If someone's grinding harder than me and just happens to place higher, then I'm totally fine with that. To make sense. Let's see. I think you guys were just in ad jail, so just gonna re-explain a little bit there. So Riftbound, you sort of fight over two battlefields. The goal is to be the best player in the world. Oh, you're in ad jail now. Okay. So we'll just sort of talk about it later. Sorry, still trying to figure out how this works. Just waiting. For all you Twitch Turbo people out there that don't have ads, congratulations. But for the peasants that do have ads, we'll take our time. I do have to run ads. There's no way I can't. So we'll see. I know a lot of people are here for Overwatch stuff, but I don't do that anymore. Overwatch, in my opinion, is kind of a dead game. I know it still has like a pretty big competitive scene, but 5v5 was okay. 6v6 was sort of sabotaged by the creators. And it really just became like a DPS show, not very much strategy involved. Here, this is going to be all strategy. Obviously, it's a card game. There's some luck involved, but you'll see this game does things to mitigate the luck. Like you're able to choose specific characters that you always have access to in every game. It's going to be pretty cool to show you guys that. I have a few plans for the stream, but we'll see. Frame rate is steady for the most part. Doesn't look like I'm dropping any frames, which is good. That is my go live. After these ads, we have about an hour of ad-free stuff, so we can just keep it moving. An hour is sort of when I'll transition in the pubs anyway, so that'll sort of be like the perfect time, excuse me, to get it going. Okay, so Riftbound, you fight over 2 battlefields. Your character, you have like 2 different colors that you're allowed to use. It's sort of like Commander, where your leader, or your legend in this case, allows you to play different colors in your deck. So for example, Jinx is like red-purple, so you're allowed to play red and purple cards. Lux is like blue-yellow, so you're allowed to play blue and yellow cards. And let's look at some of the champions. Today we're going to be building Ahri. We have some sets that we're going to go over, some tournament placements that we're going to look at specifically for Ahri, just to sort of get an idea. Currently, it's my main deck. It's what I've been playing the most. So I kind of have a good grasp of how it works. So I'll have some opinions on what these topping lists are going to be playing. China has already gotten this game way before us, like months before us. They're going to be getting their second set, I believe, either at the same time or maybe a month after we get the first set. So they're going to be super ahead of us. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the meta is going to be shaped out. In their meta, we see a lot of Master Yi is played a lot. He plays a bunch of big stuff and just throws it out for basically free. There's a card called Dazzling Aurora, which you look at the top card of your deck. If it's a monster, you flip it face up and put it onto the battlefield for free. It's an expensive card. And then if it's not a monster, you keep going until you see a monster, or whatever they're called in this. I think they're minions or creatures, champions, whatever it is. So, without further ado, let's look at some of the champions that are in the game. Okay. So, currently, these are all of the champions that are in the game. There's Ahri, who we're going to be looking at today. There's Annie. She has an ability. I wish I could just click on her without actually choosing her, but she deals at the end of your turn. She readies 2 runes. Runes are your mana. You get 2 of them each turn, and you'll see all this stuff. I just want to explain it ahead of time so that you're not confused when the gameplay is coming. I know some of you that are here or will be watching the video later are you already know. That's why you're specifically looking for Riftbound content. So for you guys that already know what's going on, I apologize, but I do have to explain it to people. We have Darius, who's the aggro guy. You can tap him. Anytime you've already played a card, you can tap him to get a mana. He's very strong. I don't know what Garen does, but he sucks. We can come back to him later. Jinx is really cool aggro. If you have 2 or less cards at the start of your turn, you draw an additional card. So basically, you sort of set it up to where you draw 2 cards every turn, and you discard your whole hand to do so. Essentially, like, her cards are strong, but you have to discard, but it's not really a downside. Kaisa is a top meta deck. She has a bunch of ping spells, P-I-N-G, that kill stuff before her little guys swoop in to take the battlefield, which is super important, very difficult to get around for a lot of decks, except for the best deck, which is Master Yi over here. Because he has so much big stuff, it's hard for her to ping it down before moving the monsters in. Lee Sin, I think that's his name. You can tap him to buff something. It's pretty cool. Pretty generic. Green is a really good color because it allows access to counter spells. Orange is big stuff and buffs. So he's allowed to buff stuff, and then the orange stuff uses buffs to like do extra stuff like draw cards. Leona stuns stuff. Lux plays big spells. Yi plays big monsters. This one also sort of plays big monsters because it has the orange trait. So like orange likes playing big guys, and purple just has a bunch of removal. So it's like Yi, but instead of buff spells like Yi has, it's sort of like removal spells or consistency spells to get to your big plays like Dazzling Aurora and things like that. Dazzling Aurora being the card that plays the big stuff. Set is he allows you to, there's a card called Zhonya's, which in League of Legends you sort of just freeze frame for a little bit as you die and then you come back to life. He allows you to sort of leave your guys alive for free. So if they have a buff and they die, you can tap your leader and they just come back to your base tapped, and your you get to keep your guy. So you don't lose a card. If it's a trade, your opponent loses their card. Pretty much just you try to play for that trade 1-to-1 or 1-for-1 on that. He has access to a crazy spell that allows you to buff something, then move it somewhere, and moving is super important. But we'll see that. Teemo's hilarious, as always. One of these days we'll build a Teemo deck, but basically he plays secrets, which are like trap cards from Yu-Gi-Oh! On certain battlefields, and then your opponent trips them up, and then Teemo activates abilities based on that. Normally they cost like an actual permanent resource, but Teemo allows it to use like a temporary resource. Very nice. Victor is another top meta deck, though he's starting to get outshined by Darius, because Darius does the same thing but faster, while Victor has a better mid-rangey control matchup. Victor's a token guy. He just summons tokens, and then when a non-token dies, he summons another token. That's not an exaggeration. That's what he does. It's actually crazy. Volibear plays really big guys. So these guys play big guys. He plays really big guys. When you play something with 5 or more might, which we can get to in a second, you ramp. Like you gain an additional mana to play with the next turn. Every single time you play it. So at 10 mana, which probably wouldn't matter, if you played 2 5-might guys, you get 2 mana back to 12, and then the next turn, instead of channeling 2, I guess that would be inefficient, but you sort of get what I'm saying. It's not once per turn. And then Yatsuo, you can tap, pay 2, and move something. It doesn't matter where, you can move them wherever you want. That was clarified in the most recent rules update. So without further ado, let's start building Ahri. So for that, we're going to look at these tabs, look at what the top decks that are playing Ahri are running, and see if we can sort of get the idea behind what they're trying to do. So this is Ahri. This is her runes. This is the mana that she puts in a separate deck so that you can use them. The numbers, you can tap these to pay any number. Where the color actually matters is this little icon here. When it has this icon here, that means you have to put one of these in play on the bottom of your rune deck. It's called recycle in this game to do so. And that is a power cost. You don't have to remember all this stuff. Just know that that's what it is. And I'm only explaining all this stuff for the first stream. Every other stream after this, you're just gonna have to figure it out. Okay. So green Ahri looks like the chosen champion here. In this game, you're allowed to choose which... Let me back up. Legends are these guys. These are what you build your deck around. You get one of them. They don't participate in battles or anything. They're just what allow you to build your deck. She can use green and blue cards. And her ability is when an enemy unit attacks a battlefield you control, give it -1 this turn to a minimum of 1. That happens as many times as enemies attack battlefields. Just in general. So if they attack with 3 2 might guys, they all go down to 1. That's important to know because so basically she weakens you for attacking her, and you normally, my builds at least, play a bunch of cantrips or like very easy to play low to the ground spells to basically allow you to win that fight for free. These have 2 colors, and each of these colors has a champion card assigned to them. So Ahri has a green Ahri champion and a blue Ahri champion. In this case, or rather in all cases, that champion, either green Ahri or blue Ahri, can be selected as your chosen champion. That's a card that you always have access to throughout the whole course of the game until you use it, then it goes to the graveyard and is treated like a normal card. In this case, it looks like their chosen champion is green Ahri. Green Ahri says when you hold, you score a point. So normally when you hold a battlefield, you only gain 1 point. This allows you to gain 2. You always have access to this card. So basically the idea behind this card is you move it to a battlefield, you keep all your mana up, your opponent attacks, you play your spells to weaken their guys. Main Ahri weakens their guy, or you buff your guy. They die, At the start of your turn, since you held that battlefield, you gain 2 points instead of 1, and it's first to 8. There are some stipulations around the 8th point that sort of make games go a little longer than just 8 points. But understand this is this allows you to control one battlefield and win a race versus the opponent as long as you got ahead in the early game, which is important. So green Ahri is the Ahri of choice here. I totally understand that. Since you have access to this at all times, they're only playing one copy, which totally makes sense. You only want to be playing this when you have the utility or resources to back it up. Everything in this game comes in exhausted, meaning that it comes in tapped, and that's sort of their idea of summon sickness. It means that it just can't do anything on the first turn, which is reasonable. Most card games have that, so it makes sense that this game has it. When I hold score point, okay. So the idea behind playing green Ahri as a chosen champion is you're going to play her and then you're going to pass. And on the next turn with all your mana up, you're going to move her into something, take a battlefield, and then try to hold it with your mana up. Is sort of the idea here. That way you can get 2 points instead of 1. You only have to hold one battlefield instead of 2 to win, which is a big deal. Defy, very strong card. Pay 1, power cost 1, so put 1 back on the bottom of the rune stack when you play it. Counter a spell that costs no more than 4 and no more than 1 power cost, which is what you have to do to put it on the bottom of the deck and recycle it. This is a staple in any green deck. This is why green is very good. This allows you to, if you're cantripping your opponent, like if you're weakening their stuff, giving it -1, giving it -1, or giving your guys +1, or giving your guys +2, and your opponent's like, well, I still have all my mana, I'm going to attack and use my stuff. This allows you to win those trades. So if you do this, your opponent counters with one of these, you can just counter with one of this to counter that. And all of a sudden you've won that duel. Of course, you go 1 for 2 in card trade, but you get the 2 points that are required right there. So that's very important. And that's why Defy is so good. Defy is also played in Yi, which is a top tier deck. So, yeah. Sorry, my headset just powered off. Don't know why. Probably because there's no... I guess that doesn't matter. Anyway, moving on. Stupefy, another really good blue card. It doesn't really do much on paper. It's give a unit -1 to a minimum of 1, so if they have 1, you can't make it 0. That makes sense. And then draw a card. Basically, there's a battlefield, maybe we're playing it, we are, where the first time you choose a friendly unit with a spell here, you draw a card. That's what this is used in tandem with. If you want to abuse Stupefy and draw 2 cards off of it, you would just hold here, play it, or attack here, play it, and then draw your 2 cards off for 1 mana, no shuffle back or no recycle. It's very, very powerful. Because you're going to be going 2 for 1 often in your trades, you need card advantage. This is great. Additionally, this -1 very quickly becomes -2 when you're holding because of your Legend Ahri's effect. They give it -1 this turn. So when they attack, they're like, okay, I'm going to be -1, so I'm just +1 here, I'm going to win. Okay, well now I can play Stupefy, and now it's a draw, and if you try to do anything, I can defy it, or you'll have to bring in extra resources to break the draw, and then I can just respond with some other cantrips. That's sort of the idea behind this deck. Very good card, Stupefy. On guard, if it's the only one there, you get an additional one, but give a friendly unit +1. I sort of read that out of order. It says give a friendly unit +1, then an additional one this turn if it is the only unit you control there. And likely it's going to be the only unit you control there. That's sort of how this deck operates. You just want to grab something and hold it. That's why it's called Ahri Hold Control, or at least that's what I call it. Very good card because like we just talked about with Stupefy, it's not actually +2, it's like a pseudo +3 because of your leader ability here. Very strong card. Retreat. This is to protect any of your big threats. We'll read it real quick and then sort of talk about it. And I can sort of talk about reaction speed after this, but return a friendly unit to its owner's hand. Its owner channels 1 rune. Right, sorry. So basically you bounce something you control to your hand at reaction speed, and you're allowed to ramp 1 in addition to this. And there's no recycle cost or anything. So if they target your green Ahri, because remember we're only playing 1 because we always have access to it, if they target it with like a kill spell or something, you can just chain, which is what it's called in this, to retreat the Ahri to your hand. You keep your Ahri, they just wasted 5 mana on a kill spell, and then you're good to go because you're also ramping one, which is really good. Reaction speed means that you can do it at any time you can do a normal action, which is during combat or during your turn, and anytime a chain has already started, you can react. So if your opponent activates something like on play, let's see, yeah, when you play me, draw a card, you can react to that, whereas normally you wouldn't be able to apply an action to that, like find your center here with the action icon here. You would need a reaction to react to something like that. The timing of cards is sort of important, but we can go over that later. So we get to our first creature here. Stalwart Poro. Has the shield keyword, which is +1 while it's a defender. We're going to be defending in this deck. Effectively, it is a +4 because if it's defending alone, everything is getting a -1 because of the Ahri. So 2 mana, which you'll always be able to play on your first turn, whether going first or second. 2 mana for 4 might, technically, theoretically, is very good. Like I said, even if you're going even in the early game, your green Ahri is going to put you way ahead in the later game. It's very important that you're not just playing like the big guy decks where you're doing nothing in the early and hoping to just win the late game over and over again. It's very important that you're actually maintaining tempo in the early and forcing your opponent to use resources, because if you get behind in the early, you're going to lose the race even with green Ahri. And that's important to keep in mind. So fantastic card. 2 mana, essentially 4 might. Pretty good. Just a vanilla outside of that, though. Ravenbloom Student, another thing. Very strong. 2 mana, 2 might. You're going to see that often. When you play a spell, give me +1. So this is where it starts getting crazy and annoying, and why Ahri, in my opinion, is a sleeper deck, and why why people don't really understand how strong she is. This is when you play a spell. This is not once per turn, and it's +1. Meaning, not only is she a 2 mana 3 because of the legend ability here, but Stupefied just became went from an A tier card to an S tier card, because now it's subtracting them 1, which means they're -2, and then it's adding 1 to here, so it's basically an unguard that's drawing you a card. Absolutely insane. And if you happen to do this, and then back with that example that I gave where it would be a draw, it's no longer a draw because you're going to get a +1 from here. You defied their other cantrip, so it's not a draw anymore. Or that would be a draw, but it's gaining +1. That is a really big deal. Anyway, sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, so another very good early game. We don't want to get behind in the early. This is very important. Discipline. 2 mana. Once again, no power cost, so you're not shuffling anything back. Give a unit +2 this turn, which is actually theoretically +3 for the legend ability, and draw a card. So it's like Stupefy, but better, and it's at reaction speed. Well, I think also, yeah, Stupefy is also reaction speed, but it's 2 mana. This often is going to be your decider. Like if you have Disciple, you're probably going to win that engagement. Unless they're playing the big guys, in which case you better have been winning the early and mid game. Moving on, Clockwork Keeper. Most of the time in this deck, depending on what their end game is, I haven't really looked, you're going to be playing, you're likely not going to be paying this additional cost because it puts you too far behind and you get to your late game much too late. If you really need to play, you'll be playing it in the early, but it's just a 2 mana, 2, essentially 3 might guy that you're able to sort of keep up in the early game. Very simple stuff. Yeah, and you only play 2 of him versus you play 3 of the other guys. So it just makes sense, and I think this player understands that we're probably not going to be drawing, and we only need to draw on a pinch. Zonia's Hourglass, we sort of talked about this earlier, but basically it's a hidden card, it's a trap card. You can shuffle one card back, or not shuffle, but put it on the bottom of the deck, recycle 1, to play any hidden card face down on a battlefield that you control. And at any time, you can activate it as a reaction. Meaning if your opponent does pretty much anything and starts a chain, you'll be able to play this in response. And what this does is, if a friendly unit would die, you can kill this instead, bring it back. We'll just read it here. The next time a friendly unit would die, kill this instead, recall that unit exhausted. So how we were talking about set earlier, This does it for any minion, and it's a choice. It's not mandatory. Oh, it is mandatory. What? Okay, it is mandatory. That's interesting. I didn't know that. But, yes, he's only playing one here, probably to protect Green Ahri. He might have some big threats down here. We'll see. Lecturing Yordle, 3 mana. Really good for going second because you're able to play it turn 1. It's 2 might, same reason for the other guys. But you get to draw a card, and it protects the other things that it's in battle with because it has tank, which means that I must be assigned combat damage first. The way combat works in this game, if I have 4 might split between 2 guys and you have 4 might split between 2 guys, we add those up. Sorry, I'm trying to get it to where you guys can see it. We add those up. So now we each have 4 might, regardless of how we're going to distribute it, and then we distribute it however we want. So theoretically, if I wanted to send 4 to this 2 guy, I could, but that would be really dumb, obviously. And then if they have a buff spell that gives this 2 guy over here 3, and then there's another 2 guy here, then I can send the 4 to the 3, kill the 3, and then leave the 2 guy up if I wanted to, or kill the 2 guy, leave the 3 guy up. But with tank, I would have to choose, if this guy was the 2 guy, I'd have to choose this guy first before dealing damage to the 3. It's sort of how it works. So pretty good. I agree with the one of, I personally play 3 because drawing a card for free without having to pay the cost of shuffling back is pretty good. But, digress on that. Find your center. If an opponent scores within 3 or less, yeah, so this is a ramp card and a draw card. This is what the big guy decks play to get sort of to the late game a little bit faster. If an opponent's score is within 3 or less, basically costs 2 less. So instead of 3, it'll cost 1. There's no power cost, but you draw a card and channel over an exhausted, meaning that you are ramping. You have extra mana to use in the next turn. Very important card for the super late game decks. I think I'm playing a few copies of this. We'll see in the later. And I'm not going to explain every single one of these deck lists. I'm just explaining the cards that we're likely going to see, and if I see a new card that I haven't explained, I'll explain it to you guys sort of briefly. I'll put it on the screen. We'll talk about it. But I just want to give you guys a feel for how the deck works, what people are choosing before we go and build our own. Okay, so this is a pretty good card normally for the late game decks, but I totally understand this. I do play copies of Sona, which is a card that, while it's out of battlefield during your end phase, you stand 4 runes, which is very important. It allows you to not have to keep your stuff standing before moving. You can pay for the Sona, move, stand, whatever you just paid for the Sona back up, and now you can play your Find Your Centers, your Disciplines, your Unguards a turn earlier rather than having to wait like this guy's doing with the Green Ahri. But that's okay. I totally understand that. We have Foxfire. 2 mana. So this card reads fantastic. It's a hidden, so you can play it like a trap card like we talked about earlier. It's an action otherwise, meaning you can pay 3 during a combat or during your turn to play it. Or it could be a reaction if you hit it. But kill any number of units at a battlefield with total might of 4 or less. So you would think, based on how that's reading, if you're a Yu-Gi-Oh player at least, or I guess a Magic player would also think the same thing. If you have a battlefield of 4 might units, this would kill every single one of them, but that's not the case. Since it says total might of 4, that means that if there's a battlefield of 4 might units, you'll kill 1. However, if there are 4 1 might units, you can kill all 4. If one of them gets buffed, you can choose to kill this in a combination of 2, or you can kill the 3 and leave the one that's buffed, right? Like, I don't think this is worded very well, but it does help against the token decks because they get ahead really early. And that's probably why he's playing the likes of these early cards like these 2 mana 2/2s essentially. So many 2 mana 2/2s, 8, which is a really good ratio if you want to see one in your opening hand. Especially with 4 and 2 card mulligan. So I understand this if he's having trouble with Victor or like Darius aggro. But I'm not a super fan of this card. The fact that it also doesn't shuffle back or recycle as a power cost is also really good for a removal spell. Just not a fan. Also, let's talk about signature spells. Signature spells you're only allowed to play with their champion in it. So signature spell Ahri means that you can only play it if your legend is named Ahri. So no other deck has access to this except for Ahri. Sprite Mother's pretty good. It gives you resources now and resources later, not resources, presence now and presence later. When you play me, ready a 3 might sprite unit token with temporary here, meaning you'll kill it before it scores if it stays there wherever it is. So basically you summon it, you get 3 might on a body, and then you get 3 might that's quick. She's exhausted, the body is not because it says ready. And then you can quickly move it to a battlefield and gain a point if there's nothing there, or choose to fight. You will score if you win that battle, but it will not score again on the follow-up turn, but likely that's when you're going to have your Sprite Mother, or you're going to reinforce this with something else. Like, now that you control the battlefield, you can drop a Sona there, she's in a battlefield, and you're good to go, right? Like, that's sort of the idea behind this card. I think, I mean, I don't know this guy, but that's how I would use it. Good card. Jeweled Colossus. I don't really understand this pick. Basically, when we play it, look at the top card. This is a vision mechanic. Look at the top card. You can choose to recycle it or not, but you got to see what the top card was. If you don't want to see it, you put it on the bottom. Very simple. And then it's a 6, but technically 7 for 5. Maybe the idea is that you don't want to shuffle anything back so you can get to Time Warp, which is their number 1 card later on. I just think you're going to run out of cards right before this. I'm not a super fan of this list. We'll go for some more lists after this, but yeah, just a generic guy that doesn't have a power cost, so you don't have to shuffle anything back. You should be good. It's a very just big, beefy beat stick. This guy is creeping up in popularity, very strong. 7 mana, no power cost, 6 power. Not very strong, but when you read it, it's pretty strong. Accelerate is a mechanic where you pay 1 and shuffle its color back to enter it ready instead of exhausted, like we were talking about earlier. And then when it dies, you ramp 2 and draw a card. So it replaces itself card economy-wise, and you can go all the way up to 11 mana in the following turn if you played it on your 7th turn. So 7, you crash it into something, it dies, you go to 9. On your turn, you go to 11. Very strong. He's also tasty. Yes, he's also tasty. Don't know why, but yeah, he's tasty. Just a big dude. Big dude, stats, and he gets you to your late game faster. And then you play the 1 Time Warp, which is take a turn after this one, banish this. So 4 seems heavy, and it is, honestly. But you get that 4 back on the following turns because you get the 4 to pay it. Sure, you have to. That's a big cost. But you get an additional turn that recoups 2 of that. So it's theoretically 2 because on the follow-up turn, you'll get another 2 back, meaning it'll just cost you 10 mana. It's your whole turn. The idea behind this is you're holding a battlefield with green Ahri. Your opponent has lost some engagements because you played smart, you kept your mana up, and then all of a sudden you Time Warp and you've just gained 4 points and you win the game. So that's the idea behind this, and he's hoping to draw it in the late game by shuffling something back with here. I just don't like, this also draws a card, this draws a card. This draws a card. Oh, I didn't talk about Fox, but we can get to that. This draws a card, this draws a card. Okay, so maybe he has enough draw power for the 1 copy, but I would just be safe and play 2. It's okay if you draw 1 and only get to play 1, because on the follow-up turn, like I said, you would be able to play 2 in the event that you played 1 the first time. You'd be able to take an additional turn after that one, then have your regular turn later, then play the second one. I don't think it's the end of the world to not play 1. It is the end of the world if you're losing the race with green Ahri and you're not able to see this card. Then you just lose on the spot. So I'm not really sure about the 1 copy of it, but I understand. Normally when you're playing this though, you want to play at least 2, even with all this draw power. It's too critical to see. Which is probably why I was playing Jewel Colossus, because it's also technically a draw, not really, but you get to cycle through 1 more card. Maybe he has something going here. Maybe the 1 copy is correct. Maybe he was breaking out too much. Then Thousand-Tailed Watcher, we see this card all the time. This is to regain battlefields from either a lot of boys on 1 or 1 big boy. It has the Accelerate like the Tasty Faithful. You pay 1 and its color to enter it ready instead of exhausted like the other guys do. And when you play me, -3 to everything this turn to a minimum of 1. So if they have a board of 3 guys, you just went +9 on the might stat, which is really good. It allows you to retake battlefields pretty easy. And if you're getting 3 points instead of 2 because you have green Ahri on one and this fox on the other one, then you just won that game outright. This makes sense if you're just going for a straight out victory condition. But mixed with time warp seems a little top heavy. But I digress on that. We won't talk about side decks right now. He is playing the second one in the side deck. He's playing the blue Ahri, which we will go over. When I attack or defend, give an enemy here -2 this turn to a minimum of 1. So it's 3 mana. So you're able to play it every turn 2. So if you're going second, you would put it in. You get early pressure. You don't have to worry about your 2s. You sub some of the 2s out for one of the bigger cards in your side deck. And it allows you to hold the battlefield early. It basically allows you to guarantee keep up because they're going to be fighting over one battlefield. You'll have blue Ahri on a separate battlefield that they won't be able to break because this gives -2. Legend Ahri gives -1 plus any cantrips you have in your hand. Very, very solid in the early game, especially if you know you're going second, you would side to side. But very strong. So this was 4th place, Group A, Ascension League Stage 5. Let's look at some other ideas. So this one is sort of banking on Time Warp, Tasty Faithful, getting you there, and really, really low power costs in the main deck, so that you can get to your late game faster than you normally would. Jewel's Colossus is an additional draw, pseudo-draw. Makes sense because you're only playing the one Time Warp. So I stand corrected on this saying this card is weird that's in the deck. Next step. Here we have some guy. I'm sorry, Breham, I don't know who you are. But you have 23,000 views, so this must be an important guy. So let's see what he has. We can talk about battlefields later. So he's going the full suite of Ahri. He's playing 2 green Ahri and 3 blue Ahri. Not sure which chosen champion. It probably depends on the matchup. But 3 Defy, 3 Stupefy, 2 Retreat instead of the one we saw earlier. Charm to win battles that you shouldn't and keep up in the mid to early game. I like that a lot. You do have to shuffle one though, so you get to your late game a little later. More of the same early game stuff that we saw in the previous decks. What's a shield one? 3 mana, 5 might, no power cost, very strong tank, so you're allowed to protect other stuff. And once again, only 2 Clockwork Keeper, because like I said, you're likely not going to be shuffling back, especially in the early game. You want to get to your late game as quick as possible. You have 2 Consult the Past, 2 Blitzcrank. Okay. So I sort of see what's going on here. He's also playing Windwall for the big stuff as 1 copy, just to scare the opponent in the event that it actually goes off. But the idea here, it looks like, is to win the early game, super win the early game, and force your opponent into attacking you with the Blitzcrank, with the Foxfires. Singularity is the high end, so that when you can retake battlefields pretty easy. It goes up to 12. I think it was clarified in the Q&A that you are allowed to pick the same thing twice, but I'll double check that. But yeah, Blitzcrank, new card, we haven't talked about it yet. When you play me to a battlefield, you may move an enemy unit to here, meaning you control a battlefield, you play him to a battlefield, and he basically yoinks someone from anywhere, another battlefield, their base, to here, and then you guys fight, but he's 5, he's a tank, you have to deal your damage to him first. So if you're not dealing 5 damage, he's just sniping something out of your base. And if you are dealing 5 damage, then he just dies, but that's okay. And then when you gain a point with them, you can return to your owner's hand so you can do it again. Very strong to keep your opponent crippled in the mid game. That makes sense. I'm a big fan of this card. I just don't think it's very good because you lose a lot of tempo when you play it and it comes back to your hand. It's also expensive for what it's doing. Snapvine is a good example where it's 5 mana, I think 1 orange, it could be 2 orange, but Snapvine says on summon it sort of deals damage to both, but that damage is permanent, so you can then move in with the weenie and kill it. Whereas this sort of makes you fight it. If it's bigger than 5, it just dies and you don't get it back. It's 5 mana, shuffle 1 back for a kill spell sometimes, or a snipe on a weak guy, and I just don't think that's worth it. because this is not optional. The when I hold return me to my owner's hand, not optional. So you don't get to keep the tempo if you chose to do so. Right? Okay, the sideboard, we can talk about the sideboard later, but we're going to see this a lot, I imagine. Adaptatron, when I conquer you may kill a gear. If you do buff me, basically it's for all the Dazzling Aurora big guy decks out there. We need ways to kill gears. This is the only way green-blue can actually kill gears, so you sort of set him up, you dare your opponent to play Dazzling Aurora, and then you conquer with this guy to destroy the Dazzling Aurora, make him stronger, and then he's just a nuisance from there. If you have a way to spend the buff, that's even better, because then you can do it multiple times, and they can never play a Dazzling Aurora or any other small gear. This also kind of hurts Set, because he has the Arena Bard that you tap, target a tapped guy, give it a buff, and Set does a lot of stuff with buffs. Like I mentioned earlier, he comes back, like all of his stuff regenerates. So that's important to note. Mythic Reversal, we'll talk about that later. More Wind Walls, probably for the slower matchups that are trying to time warp you. Makes sense. Next. Okay, Hangzhou Regional Open, 7th place. This was a 512-man tournament. Yep, there it is. So this is actually a very notable placing. Once again, is in China, so they got their cards a lot earlier. Their meta's a little bit more, a little bit different than ours currently. So let's see what he got. So opting for no blue Ahri in this, which makes sense. It's probably in the side deck. Opting for green Ahri instead. The seals have sort of gone out of favor. There's a seal for every color, but basically you tap it, and instead of recycling one to pay a power cost, you just tap this instead. And then to play it, it's free, but you recycle one, so it basically pays for itself on the turn you play it. It's okay. They've sort of fallen out of favor because it's a full card that does practically nothing. It gets you to the late game earlier. But if you're not warping your deck around this, you are putting yourself behind really, really far. One card that does practically nothing. I know it does a lot, but especially as a 1-up too, it's really odd. And let me explain that. If you're playing none of them, you're going to build your deck to where you don't have to recycle too many cards. Like all of these cantrips do not shuffle back or recycle stuff. No recycling, right? So if you're playing 0 of those, you'd play no recycling. If you wanted to play stronger cards that have a power cost and force you to recycle, you would play 3 of these. Because then you can play those power costs, you don't get too far behind, you still get to your late game at relatively the same time, and you're allowed to play a much stronger, more impactful mid to early game at the cost of card economy in the late. But if you don't need card economy in the late because you're going to win because you have your opponent in checkmate situation, like you have 3 on guards with 3 mana up and a green Ahri, then this sort of makes sense. But one copy I just can't really get behind. Obviously it's 7th place, so I don't know how much my opinion matters, but very confusing. 2 Stupefy, once again, really weird ratio. Maybe he slipped one out forward this. Maybe he saw too much Stupefy. On guard, 3 on guard, of course. Charm to win that early to mid game, snipe some stuff. If Poro's on the field, and that's essentially a 4 with the leader ability plus its own shield ability, and they play an early game 3 might unit, then charming them into your Poros still makes them a defender, making him 4. So that's pretty good. It stops the early aggression from decks like Victor and Darius Hook aggro. We saw 3 Raven Bloom Student earlier. Discipline, like I said, key pivotal card, very strong. Clockwork Keeper 3 of. Maybe because his early is so heavy, he's playing this and actually bringing it, like using the ability to draw a card. Maybe that's what's happening. That's why he's playing 3 instead of 2 like all the other lists. But that makes sense. Zonias, 2 Zonias to protect his 1 green Ahri makes perfect sense. Wielder of Water, this is a new card. You'll see it a lot in this deck in Master Yi. Very important card, especially in Ahri, because he's a 3 mana, but essentially 5 might. While I'm attacking or defending alone, he also helps you retake battlefields. While I'm attacking or defending alone, I have +2 might. So for 3 mana, you're getting +4. And then Ahri's making them -1 when they attack you, plus your cantrips. Thank you for the follow. Flaowr, appreciate it. We're still playing later, right? From 10 to 11. I hope we are. Anyway, thanks for the follow. Yep, sick. Okay. Yeah, this guy's pretty pivotal. He allows you to retake battlefields, which is a big deal. 3 mana, 4 mites, nothing to sniff at. Very strong, just solid, big guy that doesn't have a power cost. You're not recycling anything. Oh, yeah. That's okay. I mean, if you didn't see me go live, it is what it is. I get it. You're just not a good friend. I'm with you. Find your center. We see that we're playing only 2 of this. Not 3 like the other guy was. This is a great card, especially when you're behind, because it lets you catch up mana-wise, and it also gives you cards, or at least replaces itself while catching up. Very strong, and if you've kept mana up and your opponent does nothing, doesn't attack you, you're not allowed to use your cantrips, this is something you can spend that additional mana on that's just standing there doing nothing. Because at the start of your turn, obviously everything would stand up, and you just wasted 4 mana. This card allows you to avoid those situations. Consult the past. Didn't really talk about this in the last one, but we can. It's a trap card, essentially. 4 mana otherwise. Draw 2 cards. Pot agreed. Once again, it shuffles, or it recycles 1, so it's a little expensive in the early, but it does skyrocket. It lets you gain tempo and card advantage. Not tempo per se, but card advantage specifically, so that you can keep up while doing those 2-for-1 trades we were talking earlier with your cantrips here. Also, I just realized this guy's playing a lot less cantrips than the other list, but that's okay. Wow, 3 Time Warp. Anyway, we're not there yet. Sprite Mother, 2 of it. I agree with that number. It's pretty good. Really good at regaining tempo or catching up to the race, so that Green Ahri wins you the race in the mid to early game. 3 Watcher to retake. I just don't agree with 3 Time Warp, 3 Watcher. You're out of your mind. 3 Tasty Fatefolk is fine. I'm a fan of 3 Tasty Fatefolk. It's just a big card. You can play it for a bunch of mana. It's a lot of mana. You don't get to hold up cantrips. It's a little awkward in that regard, but once you get to the super late game, that theoretically doesn't matter. You're really just trying to see your late game bombs and Thousand-Tailed Watcher and Time Warp, so it just makes sense that you're doing that. This is heavy, man. Normally, I would say that like you can play a combination of 3. Like you can play 2 of this and 1 of this, or 2 of this and maybe 1 of this. Yeah, heavy's good if you're playing Master Yi or something that can cheat him out, but I don't think I agree with this. Although, if you are playing for the early or late game, or if you are playing heavier for the mid game with this Seal of Insight, maybe it makes sense that you have more late game bombs, but I just imagine a world where you've played all your early game stuff out of your hand, you've played all your mid game stuff out of your hand, and now you're just stuck with a bunch of heavy stuff and no cantrips because you have to stall longer for more turns to get to the late game. By the time you play a late game, you've already lost the game. I just don't really agree with that philosophy. What place was this? 7th. I mean, it's still a 7th place guy, but I think I disagree with that. See the Adaptatron. We see Unchecked Power, which is card we'll go over. 1 Blitzcrank. Echo to stand up your cantrips. We'll talk about him real quick. He has Accelerate, so you can bring him out ready if you pay some extra cost. And then when he dies, you ready your runes. So you basically suicide him into something. He dies. Everything stands up, and now you're ready for your next turn. Or your opponent's next turn. And you're allowed to hold. So it's sort of like a checkmate situation with Green Ahri. It's crazy all these deck profiles are just willing to lose game 1s to Yi. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're thinking. It's like they have no answers to just generic, regular-ass chosen champion Yi. Just absolutely roasts all of this. But they're like, yeah, I won't play against the Yi. Anyway, Unchecked Power is for Yi, probably. Exhaust all friendly units, then deal 12 to all units on the battlefield. The exhaust all friendly units is a balance reason so that you can't just kill all their stuff and move in for game. 7 mana, recycle 2 is a pretty hefty cost, but it sort of makes sense when you're dealing 12 to all units. It just makes sense. Yi, especially Dazzling Aurora decks in general, get really good at piling up a bunch of bodies on a battlefield, sort of putting you in a checkmate position. Unchecked Power just says, nah, all that stuff is dead. You better hope you get something off of Dazzling Aurora and you're not out of monsters in your deck, or you lose. I like the deck profiles review for content. Maybe see if any good ideas for your own builds. Yeah, that's sort of what this is. I explained it at the beginning. We were just going to look through some deck lists. I also told chat that I've already been playing Ahri, but this will give some good insight as to what other people are doing for stuff. Additionally, I'm not sure if I'm going to add this particular section into the YouTube video, but I'm going to rebuild Ahri, and that's going to be in the YouTube video, and then the games with it are going to be in the YouTube video as well. So this is just for chat, so that they understand. I also explained how the game works, which is why I'm a little behind schedule-wise. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, I agree. I'm not so sure about the reviews for well, maybe I can review Ahri decks. Maybe this could be a separate video, but we'll see. Yeah, overall, standard except for the really heavy top end. I don't like what it looks like in the mid to late, like right there in that little sliver. I feel like if you don't die in that little sliver, your late game comes too late. And this one thing is not going to prevent that. I hate to say it, but don't know what he was doing. But he clearly knows something. See Adaptron, see this. We see Blitzcrank again. Well, I think you can become a deck review person. The way people could send you decks for review on stream could be fun. Yeah, I agree. No, I'm having a blast looking at what other people are doing with Ahri. And other decks. Let me take my jacket off real quick. 1 second. It's a little warm in here. Okay. Yeah, if they want to submit deck reviews, I have it in the. I don't know if you see the Discord, but I have a little deck building help section where we could go over stuff on stream if they wanted to. But yeah, moving on. This is a pretty good list. Once again, that heavy end, that top end is a little scary. 8 blue because you need the 4 for the 3 time warp. Maybe he's trying to multi-time warp, which is fine, but like I said, that like the early, mid, late game, right there in that mid to late, I feel like you're boned, but hey. 7th place, what do I know, you know? Here's one called Ahri Cantrip Control. Has 4,000 views, edited about 22 hours ago. Oh, this one has one. The goal is to get Sona on the battlefield as quickly as possible. This way you basically get 2 turns, yours and your opponent's. Yeah, so this is how my deck, the current iteration of my deck, sort of flows. You get 2 turns of mana. That's the idea. You always want to go first with this deck. Ideally play Raven Bloom. Yeah. Don't be afraid to cycle runes to play hidden cards early. It's normal to end up with 4 to 6 runes in this deck. Okay, so this statement basically means that he's trying to play for the mid game and just stay in the mid game the whole game and win off of, looks like, yeah, green Ahri in the mid game. The problem that I have with this is that without any high end, you're going to really struggle in the late game. Because you're still going to be stuck in the mid and your opponent's going to have massive dudes, and it doesn't matter how many cantrips you have. If you only have 6 mana, you can only play 2 of them at a time. So I'm not a super fan already of just the ideology behind this deck. I'm not saying you need bombs per se. I'm just saying you have to be dominating the early game in order for this deck to make any sense. You better hope and pray that they don't get to Dazzling Aurora before that happens. Just saying that. Not... We'll see. I'm skeptical though, but we'll see. We'll see Sama BR. Let's take a look. So the reason I know green Ahri is the chosen champion is because you're only playing 1 but 3 of the blue. I could be totally wrong. He could be one-upping the green Ahri in the deck, and then 1 blue Ahri is the chosen champion and have 2 in the deck. But that's just not common. 2 Defy instead of 3. Once again, not a fan of it. You're either playing 3 or 0. It shuffles 1 back. He said that's okay, but you definitely play Defy if you're playing Sona. Definitely do, and I think you definitely played 3 of it, just so that you can guarantee your cantrips are winning on your second turn, quote unquote. But 2's a little iffy. 3 Stupefy is good. We sort of talked about why Stupefy is good. On Guard's good. 2 Retreat to protect your green Ahri that you only have 1 copy of. Blue Ahri for the early game, although I probably wouldn't retreat a Blue Ahri. And your Sona makes perfect sense. I'm okay with 2 of that. I probably play 2 of it. 3 Charm to cheese a late game makes sense, but you'd have to draw 2 of it in tandem with each other so that you can move 2 of the big guys back, take it for game. But I think Charm is too heavy on the power cost. I know it's only 1, but it's not actually an early game card. It's like a mid to cheese a battlefield or a late game card. Obviously, it makes you on the defending side, which gives value to your legend because you're defending. But overall, I think the power cost is a little high for what it actually does. But 3 is fine. And obviously in other decks it's totally fine. Like Guy plays it, which makes perfect sense because they use it aggressively. They say, oh, you have a unit hiding in your base? I'll bring it to me. Also, there was clarification on the basically judge's land for this game, where moving an enemy unit, you can move it anywhere. Meaning, even if it doesn't have ganking and you're on battlefield 1 and there's an enemy unit on battlefield 2 and you charm it, you can move it to battlefield 2 without ganking. Or 1, whichever one. You get what I'm saying. So this allows you to control other battlefields as well from a single posture on one battlefield. It's a very strong card when you have a bunch of big guys. But if you're trying to stay in the mid game, once again, this doesn't really make much sense in my opinion. Ravenbloom, we talked about why that's good. Discipline's very good. Smokescreen is good. The power cost is expensive. And normally you don't play Smokescreen and Defy in the same deck because it just keeps you in that mid game, sort of what he was talking about here. It's just too much power costs, especially if you're going to be playing 2 on your turn and 2 on your opponent's turn. You get behind really fast mana-wise. Watchful Sentry, this is another early game card that we haven't talked about yet. 2 mana, 1 might, so it doesn't actually help you at the early. It's sort of like, you can play it first. You can play it on your first turn, whether you're going first or second, which is important. And you can sort of cheese a battlefield and then make them attack you, which in this case would be a 2 mana 2 might card because your legend is giving you additional power. But you would prefer to pay 2 on a 3 might card, effectively 2, and then adding an additional 1 from your legend ability, instead of just going to a 2 and trading and then drawing a card. You don't really need to efficiently trade or go up in card advantage if you're going to be playing multiple cards each turn. You don't need to do that in the early game is what I'm trying to say. You probably need a late game bomb that allows you to generate card advantage once you've made it there, instead of trying to front load your card advantage so that you can start winning 2v1s earlier because you're just not how the game works. 2 Sonya as standard, 3 Sona. We talked about how Sona works. That's good. Mystic Reversal in the main is questionable. We saw it in a side, so we'll read it here. Reaction, gain control of a spell. In this game, gain control is sort of like how magic works, where you become the owner of that spell. It's as if you played the copy of the spell. You can make new choices for it. So this works for... Okay, so how do I ban someone? Oh, there it is. See ya. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, for Time Warp, the card we've been talking about where you gain an additional turn. If you Mystic Reversal a Time Warp, you get an additional turn once they pass their turn. And other stuff like Icathian Rain, which is another card that Kaisa plays that deals a bunch of damage to a bunch of different targets. You can choose those targets, which is what this card says. And the main deck is a little sketchy because Yi doesn't really play very many big spells, so going super negative on like a Defy would be rough. So you'd rather just play Defy. But I sort of understand it because you'll have more cards. This sort of keeps you up. Once again, in the mid game is a little closer to where you want to be catching up in card advantage, but shuffling stuff back to set it for basically free is not really where you want to be in the end game. You'll never get to 7 with this build, and when you do, you probably lost. You'll never get to 6 with this build, And if you do, you don't have time to play this card. I don't agree with these cards at all in this set. Blitzcrank, Adaptatron, we've seen him. Sprite Mother in the side is a little odd. Stalwart Poro is a one-of. It's strange considering you don't play any in the main. Not a super fan of this deck, if I'm going to be honest. I don't think it's very good. Has a lot of views, though, so I went ahead and added it to the queue. Next deck. 5th place Meta Weekly. I think this was about a 40-50 man tournament or so. It looks like it's a blue Ahri deck, so we get to see a little sort of different take on it. And it's playing Arena's Greatest, which is a battlefield we haven't seen yet. At the start of each player's first beginning phase, that player gains a point. So this guy's trying to end the game a lot faster than what we've seen in the past, which is very interesting. So let's see what we got. Blue Ahri, so we can have access to it. Going second at any time, or going on the second turn after going first. That makes sense. You get Ahri first. I mean, decent E counter. Yeah, you get to the late game faster. I agree with that. But I don't see how you're beating Yi on Dreaming Town or Godwillow. After that. I think if you're going to be targeting Yi, you target him with 2 battlefields, not just the 1. But Arena's Greatest has always been good against Yi. I am going to go grab some water real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I ended up just peeing instead. Yeah. Anyway. Blue Ahri, let's take a look. Defy, Stupefy, so normal stuff 2, Stupefy instead of 3. So don't really agree with Dreaming Tree. Oh, well, we have other stuff we target our stuff with. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Because we also have Discipline. That's okay. I'm okay with that. Never mind. Stupefy with Blue Ahri, though, kind of goes super hard because it's -2, -1, plus another -1 from the Legend. I think 3 Stupefy if you're using Blue Ahri Chosen Champion just makes sense to me, but that's okay. It also replaces itself, getting you closer to the late game without having to have a power cost to recycle stuff. I think that just makes sense to play 3 of it, but 2's fine. We've seen On Guard, we've seen Charm, I've talked about why I don't agree with it. Stalwart Poro, Raven Bloom Student, just very standard, very strong stuff. Discipline, 3 Clockwork Keeper, so trying to get to the late game, and his late game bombs are actually pretty cool because they're sort of like mid-game, mid-rangey bombs, so I'm okay with that. I'm okay with 3 Clockwork Keeper because likely you're going to be doing that because you're okay with sticking on 6. That's just fine. Sunlit Guardian, we sort of saw this earlier. Basically, it's 3 mana, 5, and you get to protect whatever it's with. I personally, for my tank of choice, prefer Taric. Taric is a much stronger card, but I think you have to shuffle one back, whereas this one you don't. I keep saying shuffle back. Recycle, but this one doesn't have a power cost, so maybe it's a little better, but it's okay if it's not. We have Foxfire, we sort of talked about why this card is deceptively bad. But not shuffling back is still okay for a removal spell. Killing something with 4 might or less or more on any battlefield is pretty good. Stops your opponent from just tokening up to a battlefield. It's an action, so you can do it in response to them moving multiple things into your thing. It makes sense. Sprite Mother 3, especially with a mid-game, staying in the mid-game deck. I agree with 3, especially in the main, which is the problem that we saw with the previous deck, where it wanted to stay in the mid but had late-game mobs for some reason. This one's a lot better. I agree with 3 Sprite Mother for the mid-game version. 3 Blitzcrank, like I said, it's a little expensive for what it's doing, but if you're trying to cheese the early, cripple in the mid, and stay in the mid, it makes sense. 3 just seems a little heavy. Riptide Rex is a card we haven't seen. When you play me, deal 6 to an enemy unit at a battlefield. So it's 6 mana, shuffle 2 back, 6 mana, recycle 2, 6 power, and then you basically kill something at a battlefield, and you get a 6 might body with it. Pretty good, because 6 quickly turns to 9 because it's 7 with the leader ability, and then Discipline really gets you up there. So he's really hard to remove. Kill something on summon, it's very good. 6/9, yeah. Side deck looks pretty standard. Windwall for the Time Warp decks, Singularity for the big decks, Rune Prism for the big decks, Retreat for Kaisa. Likely this is targeted against Kaisa, so you can't just ping down the blue Ahri, because it's very easy to do so with only 3 might. Pretty good. Good stuff. I'm a fan of this deck list. Maybe a 3rd Stupefy, maybe you couldn't fit it, that's fine. I like the number of bombs. I would cut a Blitzcrank over a Stupefy, but that's just me. Maybe he really wants to win the early to mid and cheese the mid long. That's fine. I'm a fan. 50-man tournament, 5th place, pretty good. We're not going to look at that. We're sort of running out of time here. Top 32, 52-man, 512-man tournament, 24th place. This is that same tournament from earlier, except the last one was 7th place. I think this one was a little bit different from that list, so we're going to take a look at it. Yeah, definitely different. So, blue Ahri of choice once again. In no particular order did I choose that all the green Ahris are going to be on the left and all the blue Ahris are going to be on the right, but that's just how it's been going. We have another blue Ahri deck. Nothing crazy except for this. So this is interesting. At the start of each player's first beginning phase, that player channels 1 rune. So remember earlier how I was talking about you would normally side blue Ahri for matchups that you were going second in? Because you'll always be able to play her on turn 1. You'll always have basically a 6 might guy on turn 2 to move to a battlefield. Very strong in that regard, but this makes it to where you're going second, even if you're going first. Meaning that you can get that early tempo no matter what. You win that first game because you likely start with this. Unless you lost the die roll, then you would do something else. And then when you win that, your opponent's going to choose to go first. And then now you get to go second for free again. And Ahri is live on turn 1 again. So I am a fan of this combo. I think it's very smart. That is correct, I believe. Blue Ahri coming out turn 1 is very strong. 3 Defy, correct. 3 Stupefy, very strong. 2 Unguard, reasonable. 2 Charm, it is expensive. 2 is where I would sort of land if I wanted to play this card at all. 2 is correct in my opinion. 3 Poro, we stand 3 Ravenbloom. 3 Discipline, very good. 2 Clockwork Keeper, this is more of standard of what we saw. We don't, like I said, we don't really want to be drawing off of this. It keeps us in the mid game a little too long. 3 Zonia's Hourglass, I imagine because we're a little low on mid to early. Although I don't necessarily agree with that. On the other hand, being able to play Ahri turn 1 and then turn 2 hide this, or even turn 1 play Ahri, turn 1, again, still plays Zonya's Hourglass so she doesn't get pinged down on turn 0 by your opponent. That's pretty strong. They use their whole turn to get rid of an Ahri that they wouldn't normally be able to battle over just so that she comes back with Zonya's. Probably playing 3 of it for that exact reason so that you can start with it. Very good combo. So this guy's like all in on the blue Ahri, and I can't say that I hate that. I think that's really good. I think that's a solid plan. 1 Wielder of Water, that ratio is fine. I understand the 1. 3, because this is their tank of choice, you don't have to shuffle 1 back. Maybe Tarek's just bad, maybe I'm bad, and that's fine. 1 Wind Wall to just sort of hold for the late game. You wouldn't just shotgun this against something unless it was absolutely necessary. 2 Foxfire, because he's worried about recycling things for power costs, so he's using this as a removal spell. I think I'll start doing that. I think it's pretty strong. Blitzcrank, like I said, a little expensive. Since it bounces back, I would agree with 1 if you're going to play it. You play it knowing that you're going to win that battle. You play it knowing that you're going to hold. You keep enough mana up so that when it comes back, you'll be able to use it again over and over again. You play a little bit different than the builds that are playing 3 Blitzcrank. But that's just sort of what you have to do with this. You just have to guarantee that your Blitzcrank is going to live to where he comes back to your hand. Makes sense. 3 Watcher for the late game. 2 Feyfolk. I think these ratios are a little backwards. And then a White Flame Protector so that you can win over something big. Although I think... I'm not a super fan of White Flame Protector because by the time you're playing White Flame Protector, your opponent probably has 2 on the field. So you'll either draw or it'll get really awkward really fast when you're spending all your mana putting yourself back in the mid game for this. But I understand the idea. Also, it sort of checkmates your opponent if you have a White Flame Protector already on the field in the super late and the hyper late game. And then you're able to later on, in a later turn, bring a Blitzcrank to kill your opponent's reinforcing stuff by dragging it into the White Flame. Like, that's reasonable, but you lose your Blitzcrank in that case, so I don't know. Sketchy, but I understand. And then we see Smokescreen for probably for the mid game matchups, Dr. Mundo for the late game matchups, another Blitzcrank, Wind Wall, Foxfire, another Charm. Wind Wall for the turn skip decks, Foxfire for the token decks, and Charm for the mid-range decks. It makes perfect sense to me. Very solid list. Pretty happy with it. This is questionable, but I understand. This is 4th place. 3 months ago. Just going to sort of skim through this. Looks pretty standard. It goes back to the late game guys that we were sort of looking at a previous build. I'm a fan. Very simple. Blue Ahri deck. 2 Wind Wall, 2 Rune Prison for the big guy decks. 3 Retreat for the Kaisa matchup. Makes sense. All of this stuff makes sense. Super solid. This is another top 64. He got 56th. 512, this is I think this is the exact same list as the other guy. Yes. Well, instead of the 3-time warp, he's playing 3 Riptide Rex. And a Wind Wall in the main and 3 Zonyas instead of the 1 that the other guy was playing. That's okay. I'm okay with that. 58th place. Same tournament. This guy's playing 1 of Sona, which I also don't agree with. 1 Sunlight Guardian. Don't agree with that. Yordle, 2 of that. These ratios are really odd. And then here's the final deck that we're going to look at before starting to build ours. This is the top 8 regional. Once again, 512 people. I think this is the 3-time Warp 3 Tasty Faithful. Okay. Cool. So we've looked through all of those. Now we're going to take a look at my most recent build of Ahri. Whoops. And actually, I kind of have to do that. I'll bring it right back, I promise. It's just I think there's something inappropriately named here. Or rather, I don't want to risk it, you know. Sorry, some housekeeping here. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. That was probably really weird. So, let's look at it. So here's my most recent iteration of the Hold Ahri deck. Based on what we just saw, I'm going to have some inaccuracies. I'm going to build a brand new version of it with you guys, with what we just learned from all those decks. And go from there. And then we'll play some, we'll try to play a pickup game before. Or although I think I've been yapping a little too long, I think we're just going to try to push it till 10 and then play with Flaowr. I think that's the plan. So I've gone with a straight split of 6 and 6. Something we didn't see, or 2 battlefields we didn't see. When you hold here, you may channel Rune Exhausted. And fortified position. When you defend here, shield 2. This idea is once you get there, you just can't leave. So after I've won the earlier mid game, you can sort of checkmate the late game because +2, -1 from the legend, and then any cantrips you have is very strong. The reason my battlefields look a little weird is because I am playing a full suite of Sona. I'm also playing some other crazy stuff. But let's take a look at it. So my Ahri of choice is green Ahri here because I want to win the mid to early and then do that. So we see the 3 Poro, the 3 Raven Bloom. We see the 3 Stupefy, 3 Discipline. There isn't enough in the slot, the 2 mana, 1 power slot, to choose from. It's either Rune Prison or Smokescreen. And I felt for this deck, you can't play both. Along with, you can't play one of the 3. You can only play one of the 3. You can play Rune Prison, Smokescreen, or Defy. And the idea behind not playing Defy is if I have enough cantrips or more than you, I don't have to defy your cantrip. I can just play an additional cantrip that doesn't shuffle anything back. I'm ahead in the mid game and we can go from there. That's great. So of the 3 of those choices, I chose Rune Prison because it allows me to retake battlefields a lot easier. Another problem that I had with Smokescreen is that they would get too low and it wouldn't actually do anything. So like trying to beat off a bunch of little guys didn't work because Ahri was already making him lose 1. And then when I was playing Blue Ahri would also make him lose 2. And so if I tried to use Smokescreen to make him lose 4, it was really unimpactful. And then for wide board, Smokescreen's obviously pretty unimpactful too. So Rune Prison sort of mitigates both of those. We have Block, which is not a card we've seen in any other list, but I can explain. I can defend myself. Give you a +3 and tank this turn. So I would give it to something that is not the green Ahri that's defending, so that I can protect my green Ahri. It makes it bigger. It's 2 mana. There's no power cost to it. It's another one of those cantrips that you want to hold up and get used with your second turn coming off of the Sona. Very strong, not very strong card, but strong enough to play. Obviously, Smokescreen might be stronger than this, but the power cost is why I've decided to go against Smokescreen and opted for this card instead. Like I said, I know we haven't seen it anywhere, but that's okay. I think innovators are the ones that win tournaments, and everyone that copies everything else is probably not going to do very good. So, because I'm having 2 turns, I need to start stabilizing in card economy in the mid to late game. Meditation helps me do so. As an additional cost to this, if I'm already winning, then it's a pot of greed, it's +2. But I'm okay with just cycling it in the early game so I can go 1 for 1 and get to my Sona faster in the event that I haven't seen her yet. This also is one of those things that I was talking about earlier where if your opponent's like, okay, well, he has 4 mana up, I don't want to attack, I'm just going to make him waste 4 mana. Well, no, joke's on you. I'm going to meditate, draw 2 cards since he didn't do anything, and then keep more cantrips for next time. And you can only not attack me so many times before you lose. That's sort of the idea behind this. It basically wins the game of chicken with your opponent that's just letting you stand up a bunch of stuff that where they think you're going to just waste mana. Right. So pretty strong in that regard. I only play 2 Zhonya's. I think 3 is a little overkill. I think 1, I never see it. But it's mainly for the Sona. It's mainly for the green Ahri. 3 Lecturing Yordle because it's good going for second. This might change. I think this is going to change actually, but we'll get to that in a second. I just need a little bit more early. I think it has to be a 2-cost guy, or if it's going to be 3, it needs to be blue Ahri. I like the fact that it draws a card, but I think if I'm going first and it's my only early game play, I definitely can't play it on the second turn because I'll draw Sona. I'll draw this plus Zhonya's or a cantrip, and it'll just be too late to play. So 3 costs is not very good in this, in my opinion. So it should not be in my deck. But we'll be building another one here. Find Your Center, we've already talked about this card. 3 of it. Once again, it wins the game of chicken with Sona. Very strong card. When you're losing, it ramps you, gets you closer to keeping up in the mid game. Strong card, solid card. Sona for getting 2 turns. It's also really effectively strong on this battlefield, that when you defend here, it gains shield +2. So she becomes just a powerhouse they can't get rid of, and you're constantly getting double the mana they're getting. And it becomes overwhelming pretty fast. However, you start to lose card economy when you play like that, especially if you're having 2 turns of action, and if you're doing 2 for 1 on the, like I have to play cantrips and you're just losing a monster trade. So that's why I played 3 Progress Day. And I know we didn't see this in any other list, but let me explain once again. Once you stick a Sona, Progress Day wins you the game. Pretty much on the spot. Notice I have a pretty low count of these guys, but a big count of this because I have to see Progress Day. The moment Progress Day resolves and I have 4 additional cards in my hand, Sona becomes 2 of each of these cards that I can play. The late game becomes just grinding your opponent out of resources, and they can't do anything. So while it looks like I have some pretty high power costs, even though I really don't. Yeah, I don't really have very many high power costs. Both of my late game bombs have Accelerate. So in the event that you slip up at all, at any time after I've activated Progress Day, Accelerate just wins the next battlefield that I needed, or Green Ahri just holds for the remaining 2 points that I have. And that's sort of the idea behind that. Additionally, like I said, once I've stuck a Sona and Progress Day resolves, I have 4 cards and I have 4 mana coming up. And most of these cost 2. Meaning you're going to be getting double cantripped in a turn that I just use 6 mana and 1 power cost, recycling 1, to draw 4 cards. That is a devastating swing in momentum. From experience. Then obviously on the side I have 3 Adaptatron for the gear, 2 Wind Wall, and 3 Defy for the Jinxes and the mid-range spell decks for the Kaisas. I would trade out the Rune Prison for these. So with that being said, I'm still probably going to use this sort of idea, but maybe a little bit more early game. Maybe get rid of Lecturing Yordle. And maybe consider something instead of the Defy. So let's build together. And you guys are welcome to suggest anything too. Okay. Build ye. There is a redemption for that. You can request it as one of the rewards if you want to take a look at the channel points. But anyway, so the way I like to build decks is I add every card that I want, and then I start slowly cutting cards. So how I'm going to build it is, once again, Sona control. In that case, it's going to be, no, it's not how it works. You can't just highlight your message. There's a specific thing that says you can choose the champion of the next stream. Nice try, though. Yeah. 3 on guard. We talked about why it's so strong. Retreat. In the Sona control variant, I might consider maybe 2 retreat. I wouldn't consider 1 retreat because I don't think that's enough. And I think 3 might be overkill, so we'll try 2. Stupefy. Since my chosen champion of choice is green Ahri instead of blue Ahri, and I don't have blue Ahri anywhere in the list, likely Stupefy does not come in. Sure, it's a +2 essentially, or a -2 on your opponent when you're defending, but I just don't think it's impactful enough for the amount of card advantage that I'm just going to be puking all over the board anyway. Right, I think if I'm using it, well, I guess it replaces itself. Sure. And with Kaisa in the meta, likely they're going to be playing the Dreaming Tree, where the first time you target something, so I can benefit from that too. I think Charm is too expensive. Of the 3, I guess of the 4 now, because Defy's in there too. Let's go 3 block, so we're talking about why that's good. Discipline, pretty good. Meditation for chicken wins. 2 Zhonya's. Although I think I'll cut Zhonya's entirely and play 3 retreat instead. It gets me to my late game a little bit earlier, and it fully protects them. I get to play them wherever I want. I do lose some tempo because I'm not able to play them immediately. So I think actually, but I am able to play it off progress day. I don't know. I'm not sure about this choice. It's either Retreat or Zhonya's, but I don't think you play both. I think both of them did the same thing. I don't think 2 and 2 makes sense. I don't think I want 4 copies of this card in my deck. I think Zhonya's keeps tempo, but I should be playing anything that Zhonya's will be reviving. I should be playing it on a battlefield I already control anyway. But I don't have to pay the mana. And I'm playing to stay in the mid game. Tough choice. I'll do the 3 Zhonya's instead. 3 seems like a lot, but if I was considering retreat, I'll do 3 Zhonya's. Let's do some Clockwork Keepers. That was not in my list. I'll play 3 because even if I don't draw, it's a 2-mana 3 body. Because while he's defending, I also need the early game that we discussed. Ravenbloom is really good. Did I decide to play Stupefy? I did, so it's even better. Stalwart Poro is good. We can't play Smokescreen because we're playing Rune Prison. Foxfire, I think I've been won over on that. I think 3 is too much, but we'll find a way to get rid of some. Finder Center is strong, wins chicken games. Lecturing Yordle. I've considered Wielder of Water so many times. I think in a world where I'm going second, I just don't think I have any space in the side deck for him. I think he's a really solid card, but he falls under the same problem as Lecturing Yordle, where if I draw him going first, I don't have time to play him on my second turn. I just don't. Sunlight Guardian, on the other hand. Can you relink me the Victor Dazzling Aurora deck when you're done? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, Sunlight Guardian. I think it's the same thing. I think I need 3-cost guys or just a bunch of 2-cost guys just to get the early done and then stick a Sonar or stick something else and win. I think because I'm not playing Blue Ahri, these 3-mana guys don't really make any sense. If I was playing Blue Ahri, then obviously I would go with the battlefield that allows me to always be going second, essentially. And then these become a lot more impactful because they're always live. But 3 mana for 5 is pretty good. Oh, that's a rough one. I think I'm good on it. I don't think it matches. I don't think it makes any sense. I think her cost, if she's not coming from the Chosen Champ zone, is a little too high. So move on there. Now, obviously 3 Sana. Tarek does shuffle one back, so... Or, sorry, recycles one. So this guy's a little better than Tarek, but Tarek's bigger. Tarek's bigger, and other friendly units have shield, making it almost impossible for him to break, but Tarek might be too expensive too. In that list that we saw with Bejeweled Colossus, I'm kind of a fan. I think 5 mana for 7 is pretty good. I think the fact that it allows you to look at if pseudo draw 1 gets you to late game faster. The fact that he doesn't shuffle anything or recycle anything gets you to late game faster. I'll put 3 in. We'll see. We'll see. I think it definitely has some potential there. I think Progress Day, if I'm playing so many cantrips, is important. And I like the 2 Tasty Faithful, 2 of this, because they both accelerate. The only reason I'm playing 2 and 2 is because my top end would be super heavy with 3 Progress Day, 3 of this, 3 of this. I'd rather use the Progress Day to draw into 1 or 2 of these rather than drawing these hard. I would much rather draw the Progress Day. Those are my ratios. Oh, I never added the Chosen Champ. Okay. So now we're at 50 cards. We need to cut a few. So we have a lot of early game. I think we dropped to the 2 Clockwork Keeper. I think we dropped to the 1 Foxfire. Although 1 Foxfire seems kind of weird. Won't play any. But it's at action speed. I never want to see 2 Tasty Faithfolk. I think it's too slow at that point. I think I'll play 1, and if I see it, great, then that's fine. But if not, but I will see it more often because I'm playing Jewel's Colossus. So we're at 45. Need to get rid of 5. 2 Zonias. Excuse me. I like the 3 Jewel's Colossus. I think it's really strong. After thinking about it. Stupefy, Discipline, Meditate, Find Your Center, all very strong cards. More cantrips. So I have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 cantrips, pretty good. I like 2,000-tailed Watcher because it is fast enough to take something twice, but I can drop it to 1. Although I don't like this ratio, because I probably want to see one or the other. Which means I do this. I just drop Hasty Faithful altogether because I don't need cycling. $43, we need to drop 3 cards. Theoretically, I could drop Rune Prison. How many early game drops do we have? 3, 6, 7, 8. It's like a perfect ratio. Stupefy recycles itself. Or not recycles itself, replaces itself in card value. But I don't need it that early, but to take advantage of the Kaisa players that are playing the thing that you target your own guy. It's also a -2, but I think that's what has to go. Which is rough to say, man. Stupefy is very strong. Maybe I don't need 3 progress today, but I really have to see it or I feel like I lose just based on sheer card economy. We'll drop the Stupefy. That's fun. 40. Let's go to battlefields. I like the fortified position because I can break it with Watcher. I can break it with my cantrips. I'll do it here. Hold 1. I like this. And then getting to the late game passage is pretty good. Don't want Arena's Greatest. Don't want to be moving places. Don't want to discard any cards to draw cards. And I dropped the Stupefy, so I'm not going to be playing Dreaming Tree myself. So that's what we're rocking there. We'll calculate the runes, see how it goes. 5 and 7. Let's double check that math. We always want Ahri to be live. On turn 2, we see 4 of those. Just saw you aren't in the Riftbound category. I'm not. Let me fix that real quick. Oh, I'm not. That's so annoying. So I just had... That's so strange. Thank you. No wonder, dude. I was just yapping to practically no one. I'm surprised we got any viewers. Anyway, I'm in it now. It's rough. Okay. 7 and 5. Let's double check that math. We want her to be live. We see 4 of them. Well, we really don't want her to be, we want her to be live at any time, so maybe we can go a little lower on the green. Nothing, 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 nothing. Oh, he shuffles a green back. Green would be good there. Rune Prison's green. Sona's green. And then my late game stuff is blue. So I would actually do something like this. I think this makes more sense because I feel a lot better shuffling stuff back or recycling stuff with Clockwork Keeper because these are only 1. Of course, this is 2 later on, but if I'm only using greens, blues will eventually be there. And if I don't use them for anything else but these 2 cards, then it makes sense that I can have 3 and be fine. Yeah. Yeah. And then we're going to add the pretty ones to the deck, because why wouldn't we? Save deck. Interesting. I could experiment with that, you're right. Ahri, hold control. And there we go, there's our deck. After all the stuff we've learned, this is probably the strongest Ahri deck. Or it could be like a super late game one, or it could be the super early blue Ahri, early cheese the mid to win deck. But we'll see. Flaowr, are you ready to play? I know it's a little early, but did you want to play a little early? I'm going to send you the decks. Did you want it with Dazzling? Because I have both. Okay. I don't know why I typed KK. I can just talk to you. Sure, yeah, go ahead and start your stream if you want. You have plenty of time. I am going to, I think, actually go get water. This is Aurora-less, and then I'll send you this one. Another top E. This one with Aurora. It is with Aurora. You're an Aurora fan? Okay, then I'll send you the Aurora one. Oh, but it probably says private, huh? Guess we'll see. Let me make it friends only. Oh, no, private's fine. So that's top E. And then Aurora-less E. Oh, but you don't care about Aurora-less. So yeah, you should be good. I am going to be right back. And when I get back, Flaowr and I are going to play. He's also going to start his stream. So, BRB. Thank you, T Mayhem, with the lurk. Appreciate it, buddy. First time lurking already, That's how it is. We're going to be doing some pickup games, so if you can hear me while you're lurking, you can have that playing in the background. Appreciate you. Just built Ahri. Unfortunately, I was streaming in the wrong category, so none of the actual Riftbounders found me or saw me or or were watching, but you know, that happens. It is what it is. Now I'm streaming in Riftbound, so should be good to go there. Let's I like to sit cross-legged. I'm wondering if this camera's fine. It does hide the fact that I'm going bald, which is good. But I don't want someone to come in and be like, "Oh, you're too tall because you're sitting." Well, I think it's fine. I think that's fine. Let me see what Flaowr is doing. Call me on Discord. Okay. Yeah, I'll call you. Flaowr. Call. I gotta turn my headset back on. It turned off. Okay. So I was just yapping the whole time. It's currently calling Flaowr, so we're just waiting for that. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. According to OBS, stream can hear you too, so I think we're good there. And you're streaming right now?
I'm about to.
Okay. Currently I'm on the deck building screen, so let me go ahead and load up Tabletop Simulator. I know my desktop's a little chaotic. It is what it is. I have all the games that I play here. I have all the games that I make here. And then all my Riftbound stuff in the bottom right. And on the left is just miscellaneous things that I was saving to my desktop.
Should I stream in Riftbound is the question.
That's up to you. If... I don't know. I don't know where I was getting the other viewers from, the 4 or 5 viewers, but that were coming when I wasn't streaming in the Riftbound category for whatever reason.
You were still tagged for Riftbound, so if they searched Riftbound instead of clicking Riftbound, they could find you.
Ah, that makes sense. Okay,
But,
good. Well, now
the
I'm
actual
actually
Riftbound tab has very few people streaming it right now, probably because the game's not actually out.
Yeah, it's coming though. The people that aren't ready need to be ready.
Yeah, I might just stream in Tabletop Sim.
Yeah, I mean, less people.
Try my idea out.
More people.
And just have Riftbound in my title somewhere.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Although you have a decent amount of viewers already, so it's like... You might... I mean, you might do better than me. Which is expected at this point, but...
Yeah, we'll see if my people want to stay, though. They get confused about cards. Not my usual stream. Whenever I did stream the Shadowverse stuff, the people who stayed were always just like, I have no idea what's going on, but the game's pretty. And I'm like, oh, that sucks.
Hey man, they're there for you. That's loyalty, man.
It was. They mainly tried to make me do push-ups and throw my ranked games.
Oh. That's really funny.
Right. I'm about to click my go live.
Okay.
I can send a stream collab if you want. I don't know if it works for you yet.
I don't know how that works, but I saw the collaboration little tab that I can add to my stream layout, but I turned it off.
You have Google Chrome.
Yeah.
You turned it off?
Yeah, I can just re-add it. It's not a big deal. The collaboration tab. I just didn't really understand what was in it, so I took it off.
Okay, let me. If you open up your Google Chrome, if I send you a collab request, it should open in Chrome. So yeah, I'm gonna click the knock button, which is essentially requesting a collab. And then I'm gonna mute myself because we're already on a call. And then it might send it to you, or it might be broken.
That's how it works.
You should get it.
You said just open Chrome normally?
Like, go in Chrome, open Twitch. You might get a notification there, or it might pop up in your. Could pop up in your notifications, or it could pop up in OBS somewhere. I don't remember.
Oh, no, I see it right here. Once to collaborate, get started.
Yeah, so then I would just mute yourself. I think you already are muted.
Yeah, it's
But you do have to
automated.
click one more button, which is the shared chat, because otherwise our chats are separate.
Oh, okay. So shared chat is on.
Yeah, once you turn it on, then you can test it by typing something in chat, and it should tell you which chat you're typing it from with a little symbol, but it's shared.
Oh, hey,
And that just
Fold
makes it easier
Mather.
for people to.
There's 0 people streaming a Riftbound besides
Let's
you,
say
so
you
that's how
had
I got here.
people talking, my people could see it so they'd know what you
Very
were
cool.
responding to,
It's really funny.
that kind of thing.
Okay, I just planned on muting the whole time. I just responded to somebody in my chat. First time chatter, by the way. He said there's 0 people streaming Riftbound, and that's how he got here.
Nice. Well, welcome in.
Yeah, I'll say welcome. Yeah. Saying that you were talking about the category. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sorry, I went to go get water. Yeah, the category stuff is rough. So I guess we're doing an experiment, right? You're going to stream in tabletop and see if you can get someone else?
Yeah, I'm gonna stream it in tabletop with just the Riftbound tag. Once Riftbound comes out, I'll probably stream in the Riftbound category more.
Makes sense. I'm looking for the hardcore guys. You just missed a really good talk, Fold Mather, where we were talking about like all of the Ahri decks that have ever existed. And
Hey, Tasha.
Tasha, thanks for lurking. We will. It's a really fun game. Change.
I do quite like this game. Just give me one moment. I'm posting my that I went live links into some other Discords I'm in.
Take your
'Cause I'm a
time.
part of a few.
I'll just start loading the decks in.
I did post you in some of those, so that's probably where Tori came from.
Oh, thank you.
Team Mayhem.
Just grabbing the deck we built together just now. Copy TTS. Yeet. What is your frame rate hover at?
In what?
Or bit rate on your stream health?
12,000?
12,000. Okay. Is there a reason to go those 6,000?
Uh, First person shooters.
Oh, Tasha, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it.
First person shooters will look better in a higher bit rate.
Okay. So not really relevant right now.
Yeah, not super relevant to a card game.
Okay.
When my bit rate was lower when I was making YouTube videos, I just noticed more choppiness, so I started raising it until it couldn't handle it. I also just kind of looked up like what do other people use, and I heard a lot of like 8 to 15,000 numbers, so I kind of just chose in between that.
I hard capped it at 6K, and it's been solid 6K up until I just opened tabletop, and then it dipped a little bit, and then it's back up to 6K. So I don't know. I was just curious if if there's actually a need for more than that. Or
Yeah, I'm not an expert on it by any means.
of course, I should be an expert, but
I, well, I mean, streaming and just knowing the hardware and software is different, right?
I agree.
But yeah, I usually just YouTube everything. I'm like, oh, I have an issue, YouTube it. Okay, I think I just need to open up tabletop and load the deck, right? I always forget how to do this.
I am loading it for you.
I need to make my camera small again. Boop.
So you load tabletop, you join the room, which should be stop you violated the law.
Yeah.
And the password, if you don't already have it, is in the Discord message I just sent you.
My screen is black for some reason. Did I change? Oh god, I should have. I moved my PC setup.
Oh, you did that today? Good.
Yeah, but I didn't check if everything was working.
I literally spent hours today with OBS open, just like staring at myself, making sure the camera was right, making sure everything sounded good. But that's because those are just first streamer blues.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't build a side deck. Should I build a side deck?
Maybe if I play Dazzling Aurora.
That's fair. I'll probably just copy the side from the other deck just so we can get to playing.
Okay. I'm gonna make a new game capture. Maybe that'll fix my issues.
Okay.
Tabletop.
I'm gonna bring this over here so I'm not just looking off into space. I think we do some Foxfires for Victor.
Is there any epiphanies you had while reviewing some decks today?
Specifically for Ahri?
Sure, but just about the game in general.
Well, about the game in general, oh boy, this game's crazy. You're damn right. This game is awesome. Big fan. We've been playing it or at least I've been playing it since it was announced, since they announced all of the cards. Very, very good game. Very knowledgeable. You just missed the whole Ahri deck building arc. But anyway. Right now, just building a side. We're about to play some games. But yes.
Yeah, and also troubleshooting.
So yeah, and he's fixing his stuff. Darius Hook aggro does everything that Victor wants to do, but just better. Because it could also play like Champion Victor that spawns the tokens anyway. It's a lot.
Oh, you're saying there's a better Victor list?
I'm saying there's a faster Victor list. I think it definitely loses to the mid to late. Simulating being a table.
I am, Quell. You caught me.
Oh.
Alright, that looks okay.
Right now I'm building a set. I swear I put the Adaptatron. How much is it for? 4 mana for Adaptatron. Am I blind?
4, 5, 6? Is that what sort of was?
Yeah. 3 Adaptatron. Maybe more for the early game decks. Oh, maybe we play 2 Defy for the Kaisa matchup. Yeah, I like that. Still green, right? Green. Yeah, okay.
Where's the Aurora?
It's in the deck.
Click the wrong link, I think.
You don't have to click a link. I already loaded it in the game.
Oh, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Perfect. Why is there a second board?
That is for 4 players.
Do I click blue?
Yes. Your side deck is over here.
God, every time I play this, it feels so foreign.
The game or tabletop?
Tabletop.
Well, fortunately
Challenge.
Fortunately for me, I make games here, and this is what I use. So.
Where's my third sabotage?
I don't know. Yeah, if you edited the deck, you should have saved it.
I don't know how to save it.
Damn. Looks like I get a fair shot instead of you just pulling stuff out of my hand. Also, I don't think Sabotage hits Adaptatron, so you wouldn't cite that in this matchup. It doesn't.
Oh yeah, it only hits, So if I see blue-green, I think, okay, they literally can't beat me. No.
I mean, maybe. This seems like a reasonably hard matchup for me. But with the
Unless
early
you
game...
just, like, you destroy the early game.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I was like, when thinking about cutting cards, I was really, really not trying to cut the early, because I need 8. I feel like 8's the perfect number, and if I go under that, I just lose to the late game decks.
Click 4, right?
Yeah, but not yet. Roll this die.
Gotcha.
5.
Wait, shit. There.
3. I will go first.
Okay.
Good luck.
Do we pick our battlefield first?
Oh, yes. Not looking.
Not looking. Okay, so if I'm going second, it's obviously always this. Easy peasy.
For the picture to show up, you have to pull it off and put it back on. Each player... Oh. If you're going second, you're picking that, is what you're saying?
Yeah, because I get 3 mana, right?
You get 4 mana. Well, you get 3 plus 1 with this, but I thought you... Okay, up to you. That's fine.
Wait, was I thinking of something else? I haven't played in a while.
Well, going up to 4 might be pretty good. But... I don't know. If you have a bunch of 3 costs in your deck, this is very good. Although 4 immediately lets you play the ramp 2 card that you have in your deck with the Aurora deck, so... Or with the Aurora build. So maybe that makes sense.
Yeah, I turned my screen by accident. I don't know how to fix it.
Press space and then zoom back in.
Okay, cool.
Oh, also right-clicking moves the screen too.
Shit. Okay, cool.
So you are keeping with this, going second, having 4 mana?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What is this card? I don't even know what's in my deck.
I can...
Is it alt that lets me full screen? Yeah, it is.
Yeah. You can also scroll up and down to make the alt even bigger or smaller.
Oh, that's right. That's why this was in here. Okay, so I can put cards on the bottom, right?
Up to 2, and you just put them in the little black box over here.
Do I flip them first?
Yes, so that I don't see what you're mulliganing. Then you click the black button and draw 2.
Okay. Alright, so you're going first. Do
Yes.
your worst.
Okay. Pass.
Damn it, I lose. Do I click start somewhere?
You click this?
Ready, gotcha.
Drag your 2 extra.
Alrighty, so looking at my hand, we're just gonna like super ramp with...
Yep, this is what I was worried about.
Catalyst of Aeons, channel 2 runes. Exhausted? right?
Yep.
How do I do that again? Do I just click it?
Nope. You just drag them over and you tap them with Q and E. And F. Yeah.
And then this goes... Which one? Trash?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, not a bad start.
Not bad, not bad. You're passing?
Yeah. What is your battlefield? Let me see. When you defend here, oh, it's that one. The super defend.
The super hyper ultra defend, yeah. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Shuffle them back. Like this. How does he get 4 runes on the first turn? Obelisk makes you channel 1 extra. Yes, but he is going second, so he starts with 3.
Yeah. So I start with 3, and this gave me 1.
This...
Which is why I think Obelisk of Power, if you have 4 mana cards, is a must to have in your deck for when you lose and need to go second. For when you lose die roll.
Oh, I should have had 3 mana too, but that wouldn't have changed my play at all.
It wouldn't have?
No.
Yeah.
Still would have played the 3 cost. I still would have done this. And then in phase, stand 4 pass.
Okay, so you've controlled with, when you play spell, give me another might. You've played while I'm at a battlefield, ready for friendly runes. Did that one come out accelerated? How did you get both of these? Oh, you moved and then played her there, right?
Correct.
Okay, yeah. I was like, how did you get her there? That's right. Okay. And then you still have this Ahri that could come out at any time, which is scary. And it's really hard to take that position because of fortified position, although that's less relevant.
I've been playing wrong,
when I have
guess.
giant fucking monsters.
I've done a couple of 1v1s, mostly free-for-all. So, in free-for-all, it's the last player. Well, I guess in both game modes, it's the last player channels an additional rune. So maybe 3 of the players would have done normal, and then it would have been 1 extra for everyone else.
Player.
But for the 4th player, the 4th player should have been getting 2. So yeah, maybe even playing it wrong, but that is how it works, we promise.
Yeah, so player 1 has 2 mana, player 2 has 3 normally. And we just had this, so it was 3 mana, 4 mana.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't that mean you should be at 5 mana right now, though?
No, I shuffled 1 back. So.
Okay, yeah, just making sure. Okay. Thinking.
You're at 8
The fact that
mana.
if I had a Dazzling Aurora, you'd just be like in a lot of trouble right now is hilarious.
Dazzling Aurora is 9 mana.
Oh, it's 9? Never mind, you're right.
But the Dreadbloom Predator maybe would be pretty scary here. Although you'd lose that fight, you'd still get to kill Sona for basically free.
You have all your standing mana, right?
Yes, because it got restored off of Sona.
Do I need to take Obelisk side? Otherwise you just get more free points. Not necessarily. I don't think you have Accelerate coming up. Okay. Sorry, just thinking.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thinking if I need to Yi and put myself behind, or if I need to keep looking for Aurora.
I think, okay, so you don't have Aurora. If you had Aurora, Yi is obviously correct, because you go down to 7 and then you go up to 9 next turn to drop it. Right.
Right.
But if you don't have it,
if I don't have it guaranteed, we probably just keep. This is where we just start digging. So maybe we just start with Find Your Center. Tap 3. Draw a card, channel 1 rune exhausted.
Yeah.
And then draw 1. Cool. I don't know this deck list, so.
I can resend you the link so that you can look at it.
It's fine. I'll just play it by ear, but there might be some decisions I make incorrectly because I don't have full knowledge. But I think we just draw another card.
Okay.
Uh-huh. This is where it's getting a little sketchy. We'll just develop this, and we're passing.
Okay. Wait, sorry, not okay. Actually, okay. Cool. Draw. Gain a point. I'm at 6. We will just try to win the game here. Stand 4 pass. See what you got.
Does this win you the game?
If they hold, likely.
You need 7 points or 8?
8 is the winning amount.
So if you hold, you're only getting 4 points or 2 points.
Yes.
So we're fine.
Sure.
We actually have no options now. Let's see. So plan B is incoming. How does he work? He enters ready, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he shuffles 1 orange. So it looks like this. 7, shuffle this one. Attempt to move here.
Yep.
Cool, point acquired. Then, 1, 2. Do we bother doing this? What happens if I start my turn and it can't channel any runes exhausted?
Nothing. You just don't get to channel runes.
Okay, so no point in doing this. Okay, I will simply pass.
You have a not so secret admirer in chat.
I want to kiss Flaowr. Hello, Goose.
In phase, I'm gonna wait. I can't do in phase stuff, but on the summon of Yi, then maybe this changes. Or during the
Sure.
combat. During the combat when you come here.
Okay,
Paid 3 for this.
sure.
And then draw for turn. Again, 2 points.
Mhm.
I will pay 2. Play Clockwork. Pay the extra cost to draw a card. I'll pay 2 for Poro. I'll play Poro over here. Then end phase, I'll stand up 3 of these. And Zergo.
Okay, so I get a point, and this guy re-readies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Let's see here. How much mana do I have? We have. This much to play with. Okay. I'm gonna draw a card because I can't channel a rune.
Okay.
Okay. Buff the Yi by 8. Oh, this doesn't actually matter. You have enough. Shield on a defender. You have enough boys. I think we still go. Does Yi's might get split? I forget how that works.
You'll have 14 might at this. I'll have whatever my might is, and then you can distribute it however you want. But you total it,
Right.
and then there's a distribution phase during the damage step.
Right, so obviously I still gotta try this.
Thinking. Do you have anything before combat?
I don't know what would constitute that, so I think
Anything with reaction as a keyword, because you'd be responding to your move trigger.
oh
That you
no.
don't have. Okay. Okay, so now we're in combat.
Mm-hmm.
I will. Oh, do you have any actions that you'd like to play here? Because you have priority.
No.
Okay. I will play for 2 mana. Block. So first off, you're losing 1 from leader Ahri for attacking. And then when you attack, I'm going to give +2 to this Poro from the battlefield. Then I'm going to play this to give it +3 and tank this turn. So you have to distribute your damage to him before doing it to anyone else.
Okay.
So that resolves. You're good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Then gonna pay an additional 2 for another block on the Raven Bloom, which by the
What
way
is that trying to do?
get another +3.
Onto what?
Raven Bloom.
Attempt to defy it.
Thinking. I will on guard targeting the Poro. Give it an additional +1.
Okay.
Okay, you have no response to that?
No.
Okay, then I'll pay 2, shuffle 1 back for Rune Prison, stun the Yi.
Oh, these you were doing all the rest of that just because you didn't want it to get defied.
Correct. I was hoping you didn't have a second one.
That is very smart. But I do have the no, imagine.
That's what I was expecting, yeah.
No, I'm not that good.
I was trying to bait it with the
Yeah.
on guard. Like, I'm okay with throwing away an on guard in the trash to
So
to
maybe
try-
you
try to
do
beat it
win
up.
here. So I don't get to spread any damage here, right?
Yeah, you do 0 damage.
Right. You were just really focused on making sure you're. I use Zonia's to save him, by the way.
Sup, Kirkland?
Not save him, but revive him.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. What's his original? 6?
Yeah.
So yeah, very good. See how you do basically win here.
That's how I felt, but
Very nice. But let's see. You're out of cards and I have 2 big boys.
I mean that's a good point.
But that is my pass.
Okay. Draw for turn. All is well, Kirkland.
I do think that Ahri is how you beat the Aurora, though. You need those points.
2 points. Yeah, specifically the early game stuff, right?
Yep, it's very good.
Clockwork Keeper. If I would have played this a little better, Clockwork Keeper would have came out a turn earlier, and I probably would have had this point to win.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of unfortunate, but it's okay. Anyway, pay 2, play Pot of Greed. That allows me to draw 2 cards.
Nice. What an amazing top deck.
Yeah, I know, right? Last card, Pot of Greed. And then... So I have a progress state here, which would be extremely greedy. And I don't want to do that. I'd rather just win the game with a Jeweled Colossus here. Or Gemstone Colossus. Oh, or Jeweled. Whatever they want to name it. Anyway, on Summon Vision, I can look at the top card and choose to either recycle it or leave it there. I will recycle it. But I'm just putting more beef over here so I can hold. Why am I tapping these?
Yeah, because you only have to hold one of these.
Yep, and stand for pass. Good luck.
Yep, this went very well. too late, Aurora. You're too late.
That's the hope. Also, on the turn where you were going to Yi in the next turn, Aurora, if you had it, I feel like I would have been boned then.
Yeah, yeah, I just didn't have the Aurora.
Yeah, your whole turn where you spent like 3 upstarts was kind of rough too. I think in your best case scenario, you want to be spreading those out over the course of several turns, not just
That is the danger of playing an Aurora build, is you're kind of all in.
yeah,
So like if you're playing, it's really hard for people to play to beat you unless they have a counter for you. If you're not playing, your deck kind of doesn't do anything.
yeah,
So let's see here. Another white flame protector here would be kind of insane though.
it would hurt pretty bad. Yeah, yeah, but
Hmm.
probably oh, it would be enough. Maybe.
Remember, it's the win a fight card.
Yeah, I know, but this is 6. I'd probably give it to this, make it 8, 9, or 8 plus 3, 11, plus 4,
What are
15,
my options here?
17, plus 4, 21. I have 21 on the left side, or on that battlefield.
The problem is that, yeah, I think this is over.
Yeah.
Because I would have to not only take this one, but also the other one, and then you just conquer and I lose.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, that's not true. In order to win by conquering, I have to score on both battlefields on the same turn.
Oh, you have to score on both. That's right. Okay,
or
okay.
or
So if I
hold
do,
one.
so I have to break both to get back into this. Let's see. I don't know if that's possible. Let's see.
It's going to be pretty rough.
So right now you're negging my stuff by 1, right?
Yeah. Anything.
And these guys are actually, let's just be in theory, these are already buffed. They're both buffed, right?
Yeah. And then in theory, I would put the fortified position on this guy.
Yeah, yeah. So I have to think about a +2. And then none of these are changing, right?
Correct.
Oh no, this one can change if you play a spell.
Yeah. But you know I have progress stay. I mean, you don't actually know it, but you know it, and it's not an action. I can't play it on your turn.
Right. But I'm assuming maybe it's a spell.
Sure.
But anyway, 11, 15, 17. Man, you
21.
put up 21 stats. I
Yeah,
have 14 on the field. Okay, but you actually haven't used the 2 yet. The 2 is just like a floating 2.
Yeah.
I would have to start with trying to charm something.
Away.
Yeah, so that's how much mana? 1. Charm away I guess the biggest one, which is the Colossus, right?
Yep. Okay.
Attempt to charm him. Oh,
Yeah.
and that would resolve. Now what's the equation? The 2 would go to like just something else. But I got rid of 6 out of the 21. So that's
15.
we're now dealing with 15. We had 14 on the field. I don't think we get that last amount that we need. Oh, and I don't actually have 14. I have -2. So
Right.
yeah, you win.
Okay. I told you that one turn. I'm like, yeah, so I'm going to attempt to win the game. You're like, what? You only get 2 points. Like, well, it gets way worse from here.
Yeah, the extra monsters made it worse.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah,
game
we
two.
finally got our Aurora, just too late.
Yeah. I mean, I think you lost the turn you had to spend playing 3 different upstarts.
Yeah, only because your speed was fast enough. So that's why, like, I knew that the green Ahri was better than people think because it turns your deck into an aggro deck,
Yeah.
even though it's not an aggro deck. So pretty good, GG's.
Yeah.
Kirkland boss up, hope all is well. All is well.
Don't forget to side.
How do I reset? Or how do I even side?
You manually reset. And you manually side.
I think challenge is what I would side here.
Yeah. So you can get rid of my stuff earlier. I reset for you. Here's your deck.
And then how do I... hold
Right
on.
click search.
Right click search. I wish I'd organized it. Why is Windwall main deck? I didn't have it, but... Actually, that would have kind of came in clutch.
Windwall. Yeah, green Ahri just means like I don't have to control both battlefields. If I'm winning in the early, you just lose.
It's kind of like you already control both battlefields.
Yeah, that's how it feels. And then if I actually control both battlefields, 3 points? Ew. With one of the weenies?
Yeah, then it gets kind of hilariously bad for your opponent.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what I didn't like. I think all these cards were just like fine though. The trees, I just I just get rid of an upstart somewhere. How do I get them out?
Drag them
That?
out. For those of you that are
How do I get them in?
confused, if you're not Yu-Gi-Oh players, Upstart Goblin. Upstart, when we keep saying Upstart, is just play a
Oh
card
yeah,
to draw a
anything
card.
that says draw one. How do I put these together?
You highlight a bunch of them and you press G to group them.
G?
G to group.
It didn't work.
You have to highlight a bunch.
I did.
Oh, you're in your deck. You can't add cards to the deck that you're searching.
Okay. So this goes here.
Yep.
Shuffle was
R to,
F.
R to randomize.
R to randomize. Gotcha. So for game 2, I have to pick a...
Nope, you can pick the
Battlefield?
same one. It's only if you've won that you have to change.
Right, but I'm going first.
You going however you want to go.
Would I want to go first? I don't remember. I actually just don't remember. I think we just go second again. I don't remember if going first was better for this deck. I don't have any theories on that.
I don't know either. I mean, theoretically, you want as
I
much
think-
mana as possible, so going
I think
second.
I think we'd put the obelisk back so that if I do need to go second without an obelisk, that doesn't happen. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. Although you'll always go second. What's up, gracious Lou? I saw your follow yesterday. I appreciate it. Thank you. Ciao. Yeah, I know. And with a
I
face.
think we definitely just increase the points needed to win the game. And I'll go first. Hey Lou, welcome up. Or welcome in.
Sheesh. Yeah.
Dang, you're live. Is this an Overwatcher?
Yeah, she's an Overwatcher. She's at the wedding I just went to in Delaware. Super cool cat. Like,
Amazing.
she's a cool cat as a person, not, she doesn't have a cat, although. Chow, do you,
No, a cat.
do you have a cat?
Alright, I'm going first. Let's go.
Good luck.
What'd you choose for a battlefield? You hold here, you may channel a rune exhausted. Insane.
Yeah, I'm, increase the game needed to win by 1. Very interesting. I got a dog. Yeah, I know you have a dog that has, like, health issues or something. But I thought maybe there was a chance you got a cat as well.
I think that this deck list might be 1 card, 2 all in on late game, by the way.
Mine or your
The Yi deck.
1 card, 2 all in? Interesting.
Yeah, like... Although, no... I was gonna say, it feels like it needs an early game creature, but then I forgot that that just doesn't work because of the Aurora.
Yep.
Right. I mean, it still works technically. You could just have 1 bad Aurora hit, at max 2 bad Aurora hits. But... You know, like, at the end of the day, that's not even that big of an issue. I
But-
think that putting in a 2-drop would still be worth it, even in an Aurora build.
That's interesting. I haven't been able to say this to you out loud, but I love that you call Annie Asteroid Anaya. I think that's the funniest, most dyslexic thing I've ever seen in my life. But she's
Right.
cool with it, so it's really funny. Anyway, you're up.
It's because their name is Anaya,
Sure, sure. Definitely
and
not Annie Asteroid.
they spelled it wrong. If you actually want to know what it says Anaya Stereod.
No, it doesn't.
Read it.
Annie, is that true?
I'm
Anyway.
down to change her name to Annie. I
Yeah.
also messed up. Yes, she messed up hard. You can change your name, by the way. That's like the worst part.
Yeah.
I think this is.
I'm mulligan 2, by the way, even though I don't have to tell you that until you're up.
I start with 2 mana, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this clearly goes here, like that. Boom. Put them in trash or in the black?
In the black, draw 2 before clicking the button.
All right, we lose. No, I'm just kidding.
Easy.
Well, maybe we lose. All right, turn 1.
Yeah. Fair.
Good luck.
Oh, you're passing?
Yeah,
No. Sheesh.
it's not that big a deal.
Go ahead.
All right, we lose. No, I'm just kidding. Dude, these fucking goblins, they're broken. I need my own. What game is this? It's Riftbound. This is the League of Legends card game.
Yeah, the League of Legends trading card game. You're up. I'm playing Ahri.
Hi, Zeus. Here at Globo Gym, we are better than you. It sucks that your chat wouldn't be able to hear my blurbs.
Well,
Or that's a good thing.
yeah, I was about to say. Some of those are kind of obnoxious, but
That's fair.
that's kind of the idea, right? Get people's attention, but
The idea is to allow people to ruin my stream. Anyway, how do I click this? I click ready.
yeah.
I saw you just staring, like, how do I play? Alright. Find your center. Channel 1 rune exhausted and draw 1.
Yeah.
Boop. Boop.
God, I would have loved to defy that. That would have been so funny and put you so far behind because I have a goblin and you don't.
Right, right. That's why I need a goblin. Oh, passing.
Okay. Goblin, for those of you that don't play Shadowverse, is a
Shit.
1 mana 2/2. This one's a 2 mana 2/2, so not quite a goblin, but it also signifies like an early aggressive person. We're just gonna.
It is funny how like card game lingo comes from other card games.
Whoops, you didn't see that.
I literally didn't. I wasn't paying attention.
Let's do it. Pass.
I see.
So I have a picture in my head. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I'm balding. Got no hair. That's okay.
Yeah, he's an old man.
Yeah, they'll come back. Here's a comeback. Don't worry about it. They'll come running back. We'll see who's on whose knees.
Be on my knees.
It's fireworks.
Okay. So if I attack, I lose, but I kill Ahri.
If you attack.
Yeah, with the.
Oh, should I have? You're getting hoed. I should have considered you.
Oh, you actually just don't want to trade, even if it means I lose ye?
Correct. I don't have a Zonia's. And,
You only play the one?
well, I mean, yes. I only play the one.
Oh, okay.
So instead I would have done this. Sorry, I should have
Is
considered
that
that.
is that your wife?
Who?
You don't. Oh, you don't have notifications right now. We need to get you some stream alerts.
My wife. Oh, yeah, that's my
Your
wife.
wife. That's your wife.
Sorry, I'm drawing a card off of that. Okay. Yeah, now this is accurate. Sorry.
Would you have played that to the battlefield?
Thinking? No, because I want to be able to conquer the other battlefield I learned from the last battle. Thanks, baby! Appreciate the sub.
So would I still be yeeing?
It's a good question. I mean, I have 3 mana up instead of just the one now. If I hold, I get to ramp one, which is something that you would very much like to do.
That is true. I think we're definitely attacking. Ramping one sounds really rough. Boop. Boop.
Okay, so 6. You have no mana up. Gonna pay 1 for an Unguard, which will give her +2. And then since I played a spell, it's +1. Ooh, shared Hype Train starter. And then I'll pay 2.
Oh, it's because Soul gave you another prime.
Oh. Thanks,
Look at
boo!
that.
Shit, I'll take those primes, give them to me.
Your friends are pulling up.
Oh, the emotes only.
And they only get one of those per Twitch a month.
That's a good point. So I paid 2 discipline, give her an additional 2, and then since I played a spell, she goes up 1 more, and then I draw a card off of discipline. For a total of 8 to your 6.
Hmm.
And then your
Yeah,
-1 from the Ahri.
That does happen.
Okay. Hold control, baby!
Yeah, there's a chance that was greedy. Maybe I should just let you ramp.
Okay.
I honestly didn't think
I could get a 2 guy to 8. Yeah.
this 2 chick was gonna live though.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I don't think I really had a better play though, if I'm being honest. So that's kind of why we went for that.
That's fair.
So yeah. Anyway, yeah, pass.
Okay. What does yours do? No, I still have to get to 9, which makes the math a little weirder. Instead of, I have to race longer than what I want.
Sure.
Move here. Or, sorry, move here. Gain another point.
Yep.
Pay 4 for Sona here. Then, or do I? Thinking real quick, sorry. I do.
Can you tell him he's 1 emote only? Lou, you're in a shared chat.
Yeah, no, I know I only have 1 emote, yeah. I'm very aware, unfortunately, of that.
Oh, Zeus says he followed you and nothing, so he's gonna unfollow as a joke.
I didn't
Yeah,
see
he doesn't
that.
have his alerts yet.
Oh, you did. Damn. 4 minutes ago it says. Sorry, Zeus.
Yeah. You
Oh,
lost a
I'm on
follower.
emote only?
Oh, you're on emote only? Oh, you need to unclick that. How did that even happen?
I don't know.
Did you click a button?
Well, I've clicked several buttons.
You must have clicked the emote only button. Go to your mod view.
Oh, I am an emote only chat. What the hell? This
I hope you don't have,
room
like,
is an emote only.
I wonder if you have a hotkey that did that.
That would be very annoying.
Dude, the Dazzling Aurora deck is not doing its job today
There
either.
we go. I removed it. Sorry, guys. That's so funny that it was in that. Yeah, the Dazzling Aurora deck. Yeah, I agree. I just don't think it's it. I think I came to this conclusion myself, and then I think you just sort of took the deck that I gave you. But I really think the mid-range with the early game stuff that allows you to just play big stuff later is a lot better version of Yi than Aurora. It's so weak. And then what are you going to do to this Adaptatron coming down? Anyway, pass. Well, I'm going to pay these two to play this Raven Bloom and then pass on 4 up.
Gotcha. But yeah, I'm not even like opening the Aurora one, so, but I wouldn't be able to play it here anyway.
I can type now, yeah.
Well, maybe I would. You'd only be going to 5.
We're free. Oh yeah, sorry. I don't know what happened. I don't know how it got emailed.
We're
online.
free.
We're free. We can use words now. Yeah. Sorry, what games I need to get? Well, I'm strictly Riftbound only, but Flaowr plays Phasmophobia. He plays a bunch of other games, but mainly Phasmophobia. Plays a bunch of
I wouldn't say
games.
mainly. I say playing mainly a bunch of other games is more accurate.
Plays Phasmophobia, and then mainly plays everything else.
Yeah. I think I lose.
Yeah, I feel like these.
No, I mean, it's not just your setup. It
Ew.
is the cards in my hand.
So I need to learn how to cook you in Riftbound? Yeah, go for it, man.
Yeah. All right, let's play a Victor game.
Okay.
I've lost my faith in you. All right, we don't have much time to do that, honestly. Well, we can play one.
Yeah.
Can you load it for me? You're quicker.
Yeah, I can load it. Let me pull it up.
Do you have the list that I played last time?
No, I expected you to save that.
How do I check if I saved it? What's the site?
Piltoverarchive.com.
Kill?
I'll type it in chat.
Okay. 'Cause maybe I did save it. Because I did like that Victor deck a lot. Although I think it was pretty vanilla to what we saw.
It was one of the top decks.
Liking that one spell.
Yeah, I told my wife I'd get food with her after this.
Yeah, it's... My Victor deck's not saved. Surprisingly, the Dazzling Aurora one was.
I felt the same way playing Yi Aurora, no small drops. If you don't draw your ramp and draw your big champs to your hand, the game is just over. Yeah. That's why I said he had a... I saw that,
Well,
and there was
actually, game 1, if I had the Dazzling Aurora in the hand, you probably lost.
I'd probably lose, because you're not wasting a whole turn just upstarting into nothing.
Yeah.
But
I think that the upstarts remind me of Shadowverse, where playing upstarts, because they cost mana, is just never going to work.
yeah,
So you need to hard draw the broken cards.
Looking for that Victor deck for you.
I was also scrolling, didn't see it.
Victor. I could probably just grab you any standard winning Victor list.
Well, that's not true. Remember, we checked 3 and they all had different fucking game plans.
Oh, sure. True.
Which was awkward.
Go to events. Go to Home Geo Open, sure.
How am I not finding it?
I don't know. It looks like there are a lot of... We're missing some
Did you...
Victor decks.
Ooh, group chat maybe. Did we have a group chat?
We do, yeah. Although it's just you and me because the other guy left.
Yeah, but that's probably where the deck was.
What type of League of Legends Magic the Gathering type shit is this? So it's a little bit of both.
So it's League of Legends Magic the Gathering is what it is.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is, actually. It's spot on. Except it's also like Force of Will, because there's a separate Mana Stone deck. I'm a couple million Master Yi.
I'm not seeing a Victor deck in here.
Well, we're probably out of time anyway, but...
Yeah, perhaps maybe we play that matchup tomorrow. But yeah, whatever changes you made did seem to work.
Well, that's because I literally studied every... at the start of the stream for like an hour and a half, poor stream watchers, whoever showed up, I was studying every single You were there. You saw it. But every single topping Ahri list, and then we built a list together, me and chat.
I mean, things that I learned already. Raven Bloom with your leader, huge, good synergy.
Yeah, yeah,
The green Ahri literally lets you beat late game decks.
yeah. Because I can race them starting from mid game instead of having to wait till late. Yeah. Also, did you
Yeah.
see that thing I posted in Judges Lounge that says I can win off of Ahri?
Judges Lounge?
Yeah, there. I don't know what it's actually called, but there's a Judges Lounge for Riftbound.
Okay.
And I was concerned because when I first read her, it says when I hold you score a point,
Uh-huh.
and that would happen, in my opinion, before the actual like default hold gain a point, right?
Okay,
So
maybe.
that's how I'm reading it because the
Not
ability would go
flawless.
off, and then any passes. That's how it would work in Yu-Gi-Oh. But the guy responded with the only stipulation is uh, you have to have scored on two if you want to win from a battle. That's it. Everything else, if you gain a point from holding, you win. So if I go from 6 to 8 with Ahri, I can do that, regardless of the stipulation, because there's only one apparently, according to the rulebook.
I don't get it, but if that's how it's being ruled, you can win from 6 to 8 with Ari.
Yeah, yeah. What? Yeah. Did you read it? I don't agree with that either. But that's what
So
they
this is
said.
a judges saying you can win with Ari, but we're not really sure if that's true.
Oh, it's absolutely a judge. A bunch of people thumbs up it, and he referenced the rule that it's in the advanced rulebook because they're written like lawyer speak with like subsection A, article B type shit. Like I don't know if you've seen the document, but it's huge, and it's like very well laid out. They did such a good job on the rulebook.
All right. Well, tomorrow we can try Auroraless Yi or Victor,
Sure.
and we should be able to play a real game. I do think that allowing your deck to have a more aggro approach, though, does help you with the Dazzling Aurora builds. I do think that there's a world, though, where, like, the Dazzling Aurora player just stops trying to go all in on it and just is okay with, like, a 30% chance of hitting his Goblin, but he should still be playing a Goblin. Because look at my leader, right?
Yeah.
If I drop a Goblin and you have this to deal with, that's super annoying.
No, I know the leader's strong, but the goblin would be what, 7? I know Poro goes up to 3 plus it's 5.
Yeah, so you'd have a 2 mana 5 sitting there.
But you paid 9 for it.
No, I paid 9 for a Goblin and then a big guy on the next turn, and then another big guy on the next turn.
Unless you're unlucky. Then you paid 9 for 2 goblins.
So statistically, I'm paying 9 just for the big guy and change, even
you,
with the goblins.
did you make plans with Playa?
Don't forget next time. I have no idea what you're talking about, Flawless.
Look who's here and who is not. Hi. Don't forget
Oh, I
next
think they're
time.
saying don't forget. There was just like a joke about how he's always here when somebody else isn't. So he's like a better friend or something. So he's
Oh.
saying he's here again when the other person's not. Look.
Well, who would want to watch this, honestly? No, honestly, if we could do longer, I mean, I don't know what your schedule is, but if you get on early and you just so happen to want to start your stream early or maybe, I don't know, play off stream a little bit, I'm going to be here from 8 to 11 every single day. So instead of
Yeah,
me
yeah.
yapping for basically 2 hours while we're building decks and talking to chat and explaining stuff, maybe
Well,
we
I
could
do think
just.
your studying worked.
Oh, clearly, yeah.
So what you clearly need to do then is go study the decks you want me to play too.
Well, tomorrow, every day I'm going to be building a new champion. I didn't get any champion requests today, which is one of the rewards that people can pay for, but obviously I expected that no one would have enough channel points by today to do that. So tomorrow I wanted to build Jinx, but I guess tomorrow I can build Victor.
You can do your own thing. What I'm saying is that eventually you're gonna have to do some of the studying for me.
No, that's fine. I have so much time to study and talk to Chad about stuff, and obviously it's gonna be YouTube videos later too. So no problem whatsoever. I'll build Victor tomorrow. I'll explain it,
Hmm.
and then I'll just hand it off to you and play Ahri. So the maybe, well, then I don't get a YouTube video out of it. Maybe we play Victor Mirrors tomorrow. That sounds really fun, actually.
Yeah.
A really low to the ground aggro, or maybe what if we
Or
do?
we can just play game ones. A game one against your Ari, a game one Victor Mirror.
Oh, sure, sure. Yeah,
That way we can get adequate testing. I think that we don't necessarily need the game two and threes right away to get the essence of this game.
well, I already have the essence. I guess it'd be to catch you up.
Yeah, to catch me up. Um, I don't think you have the full essence though. Every single time I see you play, you're improving a lot. I mean,
Tanks.
your first like iterations of Ari just weren't working at all.
No, I know. Yeah, took a lot of
Because
studying.
you lost to Auroraless E, you lost to this version of E, and you lost to Victor. Now it looks like you're beating this one, and it's not even close. We have to test the other two.
Yeah, we'll test it. We'll see what's happening.
But yeah, it was fun. I'll probably click the end the collab. I'm gonna go play some video games, but thank you for inviting me.
Well, thanks for collabing. You're streaming tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I should be here on time.
Are we we're on for tomorrow same time?
Yeah, I should be here on time, hopefully.
Right. Okay. Well, see you guys tomorrow. I'm also just gonna head off and end stream, and I don't know how raids work if we're already collaborating.
No idea. I'll click end collaboration. You can figure it out.
Okay. See ya.
Bye.
All right, chat. Just me and you while I figure out how to raid people. What do you think of Riftbound? So far, so good, right? Pretty good game. You guys missed the deck building. You'll see deck building tomorrow. We're gonna go over a bunch of lists. Uh, I guess tomorrow I'm gonna be building Victor. Game's cracked. Yeah, absolutely cracked. Game's fantastic. He was kind of getting outplayed, but I assure you, Flaowr is a very smart person. There's a game called Shadowverse Evolve. You got some product? No. I have some connects that could probably get me some product because I'm head judge of all of Texas for Yu-Gi-Oh! But I don't really want to bother people with that. Also, I don't really know what deck I'm going to be playing. Immortal Object. I think I want to play Ahri, obviously. I think it has potential. I think people are sleeping on her. I don't think people really understand how the deck actually works. And I just put on a masterclass for this. I'm so glad it's going to be a YouTube video. I think I'll post that Saturday, coming in next Monday. But yeah, I think I want to play Ahri, but there's also like if I'm trying to win, there's Darius Hook Control, there's like Victor that I could play, there's Kaisa, there's so many actual good decks where I wouldn't have to think about it. But I don't know, we'll see. Oh, bro, Master Yi Dazzling Aurora. I don't know, he kind of just got cooked. I don't know if you were here for that, but I won way before he could play Dazzling Aurora. And then game 2 and 3, if he all end on Dazzling Aurora, then Adaptatron comes in, which I also had in my hand. I don't think I want to all in on Dazzling Aurora, especially with Darius Hook aggro running around or Victor being able to play Salvage. I'm just not a fan of paying 9 mana and then them just activating Salvage, drawing a card, paying 2 mana. Like, Salvage is such a brutal card. Victor has it, Set has access to it. It's rough. But it's fun. I mean, Dazzling Aurora is really fun. If I were to play a Dazzling Aurora deck, I'd play it in Bully Bear, because I'm already on the game plan of playing big dudes. Might as well play the guy that ramps into more big dudes, so if I don't see Dazzling Aurora, or if they salvage it, they're still having to deal with more big dudes. I think that's the correct way to approach it. But, yeah. Anyway, today, for the people that missed it, I went through every single winning Ahri list, sort of went through any perp recursion. I've seen that too. But every single Ahri list that topped, went through, sort of got the idea of what they were trying to do, and then sort of talked about what I liked and didn't like about the list, and then we built our own lists together as a team. And then I got with Flaowr. But tomorrow I'm going to do the exact same thing with Victor, where I'm going to look at every topping list, figure out what they were doing, what their ideas were, and then build a deck off of that. So if you want the masterclass on Victor tomorrow specifically, be here at 8 p.m. CST, right? Like, and then I'll build Victor. We'll play some Victor mirrors later on, and then it'll just be a good stream. And then, if you want, you can put in a request if you're here all the time. Immortal Object. And the reason I'm looking down here is because that's where my chat is. You can put in a request for Annie. I'll build some Annie. I've seen it. It's okay. It has cantrips, but that actually deal damage. You just have to sort of... I'm not really a fan of them just being small ping spells, because then you have to really avoid combat like the Plague. And I don't think Tibbers, the signature creature, is very good. So I'm not really sold on Annie. I think Kaisa does a much better job of what Annie does anyway. If you're in Texas, I have a guy... Yeah, I am in Texas, yeah. No, bro, you give him Vanish? Okay, that's pretty funny. But you got some cases, so somebody DM, I got you. Okay. Alright, yeah, I mean, I guess that'll determine what I'm building. I'm sort of on the fence, but some sealed product would get me there. I'll see tomorrow how I'm feeling after building Victor, because Victor's a structure deck. Jinx is a structure deck. I'd like to play some Jinx too, just because it's a cool deck, cool concept. Anyway, that's the stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I also love Lux. I have a Lux deck already built. We'll look for some more Lux. There isn't a topping list for Lux, so we'll look at that. But alright guys, see you tomorrow. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for all the follows. Zeus specifically, if you're still here, thank you for following. Thanks for the Prime subs, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks. Thanks for the follow, Immortal Object. Right as I'm leaving. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Bye.